Across the front, black pants, black socks. The Komets in their road white uniforms with orange shoulders. And the Komets logo across the front. Black numbers, black and orange trim, black pants, and white socks. Nolan Boyer is our referee for the second consecutive night. Our linesmen tonight are Christopher Williams and Logan Belgraf. Matt Marcineau will start up front in between Terry Broadhurst and Nick Hutchison, Cliff Watson, and Dmitry Osipov on D. For Fort Wayne, Stephen Harper in between Justin Vive and Zach Pochero, and the D pairing of Olivier Gallipo and Blake Siebenauer. The goaltenders, Dylan Ferguson for Fort Wayne, Billy Christopoulos for the Fuel. Indy moving from right to left as you picture this rink in your mind's eye. Nolan Boyer has the puck cradled in his right hand. The centerman in the circle. The puck is down and away we go on this Saturday night in Indy. Fuel will win the draw. Cliff Watson sends it in and Fort Wayne chops it up the boards back into the Fuel zone. Matt Marcineau tracks it down and will leave it for Osipov. His pass outletting out of the zone does not connect and icing is called. As Terry Broadhurst unable to win the race to the dots, so Indy ices the puck 21 seconds into the game.
Well, the pass from Osipov looking for Nick Hutchison, but the pass in his skates, not able to get a stick or a skate on it, and goes all the way down. But good to see Nick Hutchison get an opportunity to get back in the lineup and joining that top line of Terry Broadhurst and Matt Marcineau. And when you're playing on a line like that, it's pretty simple. Get the feet moving. That's the one thing that Nick Hutchison does as well as anybody on this Indy Fuel team, using his speed, and he can get it on the forecheck and get the puck in the hands of Broadhurst and Marcineau. It's going to be a successful game for Nick Hutchison.
Komets win the draw. Siebenauer wrists it behind the net, looking for Harper. It hops over his stick into the far corner and played into the left wing circle for Harper. Turnaround shot blocked down in front by Osipov and punched up to the line by the Fuel. Cliff Watson tried to headman it to Marcineau, but he couldn't quite corral the pass. Marcineau tracks the puck down at the Fort Wayne line, but Indy was offside, so he has to track it back into his own zone. Keone Teixeira is off the bench, and he takes the puck. Headman's right through the neutral zone, right to the tape of Pirog. His shot from the high slot is fought off by Ferguson. Pirog, rink-wide pass to Raskop, tries to put it in front, blocked down, puts it right on goal from below the goal line, but again sticked aside. And the Komets gain possession and bring it out to center. Randy Gazzola gains the red line, hard cross-corner dump into the left wing corner. Willie Raskop's outlet pass doesn't connect, picked off by Gazzola. He shoots from the center point. It goes wide of Christopoulos' net, and he can't clear. Puck in the left wing circle to Petrozelli into the left wing corner. Teixeira staples him into the boards. Raskop takes the puck, chips it past the forechecking Leaf over to the near boards where Tommy Apap couldn't quite settle it down. Gazzola's shot is deflected wide from along the boards.
It's a good thing that Jackson Leaf was not able to redirect that puck onto Billy Christopoulos, because there wasn't an Indy Fuel player within 5 to 10 feet of Leaf. He was all alone, so if there's a rebound there, I mean, he's got plenty of time to try and find it, but unfortunately for Leaf, it went wide, and fortunately for the Fuel, they're able to get out of their zone, no harm, no foul.
After a defensive zone turnover led to the chance. Komets bring it into the zone. Cedric Lacroix loses the puck. Here's a turnaround shot from Lasarchik from inside the hash marks. Christopoulos with the save, and then he gets the rebound on Nellis. The second shot didn't have a whole lot of steam on it as Nellis' stick was being lifted as he was trying to get the shot off. So Christopoulos covers up for a whistle. We play 2 minutes and 8 seconds of a scoreless first.
And a little bit shaky with control, with possession in their own zone for Indy. The defenseman trying to get it to the wingers, and we talked about it in the pregame show, and we're going to see it all night. The defenseman very aggressive, pinching down the walls. It's going to be pivotal for the Indy Fuel wingers to make sure they have their heads on a swivel. They need to have heads like owls in this game. Know where your defenseman at all times, and if he's going to pinch down, you either got to eat it along the boards or chip it past them or send it back to your defenseman. You got to do anything but turn it over.
Fuel try to break it out of the zone. Unable to do so. Pelech plays it back behind his own net. Schneider to Zulsdorf. Chips it out to center. Right to the tape of Kuklieta. Drops it to Pelech. Gains the Fort Wayne line. Sends it into the left wing corner. And then follows the puck. But Brodeur gets there first and wraps it around to Waugh on the far boards. And he'll exit the zone. Puck dumped into the fuel end as Fort Wayne goes for a change. And Dmitry Osipov takes the puck. Goes D to Cliff Watson in his own zone up the near boards. Headman's through the neutral zone to Spencer Watson. Pellick now rink wide to Osipov. Gains the red line and will wrist it in through both corners. Coming in on the forecheck is Indy, but Fort Wayne's able to elude it and push it out through center. Harper 2-on-2 across the line. Shoots, save made. Christopoulos Indy got the rebound and covers up for a whistle with 16:54 to go. Scoreless first, but Fort Wayne has had the better of the play in the first 3 minutes and 6 seconds of this game.
And the most recent chance coming from Stephen Harper, just barreling down the near side and letting the shot go. But I like the defensive effort by Dmitry Osipov. Once Harper let the shot go, he tried to follow it up to the net, but some good box out, physical defensive play by Dmitry Osipov just to keep Harper to the outside, not allowing him to get another sniff with that puck that was just laying a couple inches in front of Billy Christopoulos. And that little box-out play allowed Christopoulos to get a glove and get a cover. And a face-off now to his left.
Jared Thomas will take it against Stephen Harper, and Harper wins it cleanly. Up to the point. Gallipo looks for traffic and hits the traffic with a wrist shot. It's blocked in front by Spencer Watson, who's able to send it ahead to Lacroix, who gets it as far as center. Siebenauer high flip into the zone. Christopoulos gloves it and leaves it for Raskop. Headmans to Thomas. His pass ahead for Spencer Watson doesn't connect. Gallipo takes it back in his own zone for Fort Wayne. Adams Moisan gloves it down, and Jared Thomas got the next touch, so there's no hand pass on the play. And now Blake Siebenauer at his own line. Gains center red, wrists it in, rides the dasher into the left wing corner. Puck chipped past the first forechecker, and Jared Thomas skates it out to center. 3-on-3 across the line. Thomas at the right point. Cuts into the high slot. Tries to drop it for Broadhurst. Right down Main Street. Shoots and scores! Terry Broadhurst rips one into the top shelf of the net, and the Fuel lead at 1-0 as Broadhurst, the trailer on the play, came right down the middle untouched and was able to pick his corner and give the Fuel a 1-0 lead.
Well, Andrew, the Fuel are in the middle of a change. They got a couple of forwards that had left the ice surface, which is why Fort Wayne were just not able to pick anybody coming up. Great play by Jared Thomas, kind of skating into no man's land, but what he's doing, he's buying time, allowing his guys coming off the bench to be able to get into a spot to receive that play. A great job by Thomas. He drops it to Terry Broadhurst, and he buries it short side up on Dylan Ferguson, who was late moving from left to right. So a heck of a patience play by Thomas. Excellent urgency, speeding off the bench by Terry Broadhurst, and the Indy Fuel have the all-important first goal.
Fort Wayne trying to answer pass a little too far for Petrozelli. He tracks it down behind the net, shakes off Osipov along the right wing boards. Backhands it into the corner. Cliff Watson takes it. His outlet pass is broken up, but comes back to Cliff behind his own net. And again, outlet pass doesn't connect as Terry Broadhurst couldn't push it out of the zone, wristed back in behind the Fuel goal. Randy Gazzola comes over to keep it in at the right point, into the high slot. Puck loose. Harper nearly poked it free from Broadhurst and finally does. Back diagonal feed. Doesn't quite connect with Petrozelli. Comes out to neutral ice, and Fort Wayne will take the opportunity to get a change. Some uneasy moments for the Fuel in their defensive zone.
And again, it's coming from the defenseman. It was Matt Murphy on the far side, kept the play alive, and then on the near side, Randy Gazzola. Fort Wayne just feeds on their opponent. If they can force you to turn the puck over coming out of your own zone, you got a couple of guys trying to cheat and play offense, that's where they're going to absolutely feed off of you. So while the Fuel haven't gotten burned, if they do not clean up their defensive play, before you know it, Fort Wayne's going to continue to get those chances, and they have enough skill to bury the puck.
Fuel force a turnover. Pirog, turnaround shot from the right wing circle, save made. Rebound put just wide by Dickinson from the slot, as Dickinson had a really good look at it, but just couldn't get it on frame. Indy with a quick re-entry after Fort Wayne had cleared, but it's broken up at the line. Zulsdorf, stick handles past one, past two, to the right wing circle. Feeds Lacroix coming off the bench. His shot is blocked up and out of play. We have a whistle with 14:19 to go, and now some pushing and shoving after the play. Lacroix and Pirog and half the Komets. Boca's in there, Pochero's in there. The linesmen are trying to break it up, as 8 of the 10 skaters are on the ice are in this fracas. And Cedric Lacroix is being skated to the penalty box. Got a feeling he will not be the only player heading to the sin bin.
Yeah, I would agree. Cedric Lacroix in the middle of a change. Got a drop pass and just fired the puck towards the net, and it was blocked by a Fort Wayne defenseman, and then you had the skirmish. As those watching on Flow Hockey get a good look at Nick Pirog picking up the lumber of his teammate Cedric Lacroix, delivering it to the box. Who needs Amazon Prime when you can have a teammate deliver the stick for you?
Justin Vives also in the box for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I think he comes in a little bit late, as you see a mass chaos of humanity pushing and pulling and grabbing, and as of now you got Pachero and Vive in the box for Fort Wayne and Cedric Lacroix in for the Indy Fuel, and that, my math tells me correctly, looks like the Fuel are going to have a man advantage, and with the amount of players on the ice, actually doesn't look like it's going to be, as you got 4 Fuel players and 4 Fort Wayne Komets, and now Nick Pirog is going to come out onto the ice, so it looks like it's going to be a power play here for Indy.
And the faceoff's in the offensive zone, so that also would indicate that it will be a power play. No penalties have been put up on the board yet. But an opportunity here for the Fuel, leading 1-0, and with the man advantage as a post-whistle penalty. Sends the Fuel to the power play. Vive is on the board for roughing, or we assume it's roughing, as the Fuel win the offensive zone draw on the man advantage for the first time. Teixeira to Broadhurst, left hash. He'll send it low for Pirog behind the net, working in Gretzky's office. Back to Broadhurst along the left wing boards. There's the peel off the boards and send it up to the point for Teixeira. Rink wide feed for Spencer Watson, low for Pelech, back to Watson, and now up to the point. Teixeira holding it in but loses the puck, and now here come the Komets, 2-on-2 across the line. Boca loses the puck as he was trying to stick handle to the middle, follows it over to the near boards, and then is also followed by 4 Fuel players, and Pirog shoves Boca down, and that allows Teixeira to take the puck. 1:17 to go on the power play as Pelech sends an area pass looking for Pirog coming right down the slot, and his backhander can't get past Ferguson, who had the near post sealed. The Fuel collect, send it up top. Teixeira shot deflected just wide. Pelech to Broadhurst, left circle, rink wide feed to the right point. Spencer Watson to Teixeira to Broadhurst, left circle, skates in, drops it for Teixeira, center point. He'll feed Spencer Watson, rink wide. Broadhurst, he tees one up, and Ferguson with a blocker save. And the Komets able to gain possession and bring it as far as center. Jackson Leaf will wait for the rest of the penalty killers to change out, and then head man to Murphy across the Fuel line, fires on goal, and Christopoulos with a stick save. Matt Marcidou's pass broken up by Murphy and sent back into the Fuel zone. 27 seconds to go on Justin Vive's roughing minor. The extra minor and the fracas in the Fort Wayne defensive zone. Thomas brings it into the zone, goes down. Dickinson finds the puck, feeds Raskop right point. Willie skates into the right hash, surveys, and now feeds Cliff Watson right point. Final 10 seconds of the power play, and the puck is forced free out to neutral ice, and the Fuel will be 0 for 1 on the power play right now as Justin Vives out of the box. And Matt Marcidou gets a feed right at the Fort Wayne line, but couldn't quite handle it. Here comes Oliver Cooper the other way. Takes it into the right wing corner. Rubbed off the play by Cliff Watson, and Willie Raskop takes the puck. Missed stick handles a little bit, but is able to work it out to center.
Nice help there by Willie Raskop. Cliff Watson, physical play on Cooper. Puck laying there, and Raskop comes in to sweep it up and take it away.
Here's a shot from the point by the Komets, Olivier Galipeau, and Christopoulos flashes the glove and makes the save and holds on for a whistle. 11:51 to go. Terry Broadhurst has given the Fuel a 1-0 lead. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When it comes to Hondas, your Central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic Sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelley Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself, or shop the latest offers at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. What are you waiting for?
This is Dr. Ram Yaleti, Chief Physician Executive at Community Health Network. I know that for a lot of you, COVID-19 has changed your day-to-day lives in some pretty dramatic ways. But as things are progressing, there's one thing we sincerely hope you'll continue to do just as before, and that's to seek medical care when you need it. So please, focus on getting the care you need, and we'll focus on keeping you safe while you do.
There's no safer place to be. Learn more at ecommunity.com. Stand by. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Back to the action with Nick Golchek and Andrew Smith with Indy Fuel Hockey.
11:51 to go in the first period. The Indy Fuel lead the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0. Terry Broadhurst scores his 5th goal of the year at 3:54 of the first period. Jared Thomas and Willie Raskob with the assists. It's Broadhurst's first goal in 8 games, and Raskob 5th in the league in defenseman points. Adds an assist for the 2nd straight game.
He's a power play specialist, helping quarterback the power play for the Fuel, and Terry Broadhurst almost actually had a 2nd goal on that power play as the Fuel went from side to side right through the penalty killing box on a pass from Spencer Watson across the way to Broadhurst. Just wasn't able to pick his corner enough. So Terry, the puck is finding him. If he keeps firing it at the net, he's going to have another goal or 2 before the night's over.
Fuel send it into the Fort Wayne zone as we're back to action. Lasarchik to Murphy, picked off by Hutchison, right corner. Takes it to goal, fires, and the save's made. Ferguson doesn't know where it is. And it's frozen and out of play. That's a reason why he didn't know where it was. And so we've got a whistle with 11:19 to go in the first. The Fuel leading at 1-0.
Well, that's a prime example of what Nick Hutchison brings to this lineup. I mean, just the ability to use his speed, force turnovers, and he's not going to try and be too fancy. Just take the puck right to the rack and force the goaltender to have to make a save. I mean, when he's playing at his best and he's playing confidently, that's what he's doing, using his speed, using his feet. He's got some size, too. I mean, he's going to be able to handle himself in those battles down low, and when taking the puck to the net, he's more than capable. So a lot more of that is what the Fuel need from Nick Hutchison, a real positive shift and something good for him to build off of.
Jared Thomas, who had the primary assist on Broadhurst's goal, he now has 11 points in his last 13 games. Tossed out of the circle, so Lacroix will take it. Wins it cleanly. Back to the point. Osipov over to the right circle, looking for Spencer Watson. Hopped over his stick into the right wing corner. Siebenauer is able to punch it past a Fuel forechecker, and Fort Wayne outlets to center. Pochero rink wide to Harper. Poked past him by Osipov, but not out. Played into the far corner, where it's rimmed around. And Lacroix gets it to Jared Thomas. Can't get it out, but on second effort, he does. Spencer Watson out to center, and now we have a whistle. And Lacroix is down behind the play and holding his face, and Justin Vive is in the vicinity as well. Looks like Nolan Boyer is going to call a penalty.
Well, what happened was there was a coming together between Justin Vive and Cedric Lacroix, and Lacroix was kind of laying on the ice, holding the stick of Justin Vive. So they were engaged in a battle. And then Zach Pochero of Fort Wayne came in at the last second and made contact with the facial area of Cedric Lacroix, trying to free the stick of his teammate.
Followers. Link. Followers. Read more. Link not found. Link not found. Mixler. Reload. Button. Mixler. Head. Stop. Button. Reload. Mixler. Navigation. Landmark. Landscape. Download app. Price. Features. Listen. Login. Start trial. 70. WW. 70. 70 follower. Start. Into full. Press to play. Buffering. Buffering.
Watson, now Thomas. Skates into the left wing circle. Puck hopped over his stick, but he gets it back into the left corner. Loses possession to Brodeur, and he's able to outlet to Boca, who fires it all the way down. Christopoulos waits for it to come off of the boards and headmans it to Jared Thomas. Backhands it through the neutral zone to Marcineau. Across the line to Lacroix, offside. The timing was a little bit off Lacroix. It almost looked like a soccer play where you're trying to time the run, and Lacroix just went into the zone just a little bit early, so a play offside.
Yeah, just a tad antsy. It was a real nice play, though. I love those plays entering the zone, whether it be on the power play or not, when you're carrying it wide and then you slip it through that defenseman to a guy streaking through the middle, trying to catch that defenseman and get him caught outside the dots towards the boards, and then you open up a 2-on-1 with the guy who's driving the net and then maybe a weak side player as well. But Cedric Lacroix just a step over the blue line before the puck was able to get there. Offside the call.
Fuel win the draw, minute 15 to go on their second power play. Terry Broadhurst up the left wing boards through center, rink wide pass to Spencer Watson. Gains the line. Into the right wing corner, puts on the brakes. Tried to bank it up to Teixeira. It was broken up by the Komets, but collected by the Fuel. Pellick rims it around to Broadhurst, left wing board. Cycles it back in behind the net to Pellick. Right wing corner, a little further along, looking for Pirog. Brodeur comes in to try to break that up. And Pirog and Boca battling in the far corner now. It's a 5-6 man puck battle. And finally jarred free by the Komets and sent up to the point to Teixeira. Plays pitch and catch with Broadhurst. Teixeira now. Spencer Watson, right circle. Tried to curl and drag. Couldn't get the shot off. Pirog does. And Ferguson able to make the save and steer the rebound out of play.
Well, if there's one thing you know when you're going up against Fort Wayne's penalty kill, they're going to be really aggressive. In zone, up ice, doesn't matter where. They might as well as have five guys out on the ice because that's the way that they play. I think the power play for the Fuel just haven't been moving the puck quick enough. And when you're going up against an aggressive penalty kill and you're slow in moving the puck or the passes aren't accurate, you're playing right into the hands of the opposition. Well, the passing accuracy and quickness has to improve for the Fuel if they want to find a way to capitalize and take advantage of the power play chances in this game.
Fuel control off the draw. Willie Raskob, right circle, shoot save, made a rebound, loose in the crease, and put back on goal by Lacroix, but Ferguson able to make the save and cover up for a whistle.
And there's another way to gain some success. Just throw the puck at the net. Nice idea here, Willie Raskob. Not the greatest of angles, but you know that you got two guys at the net front. Matt Marcineau just hoping and praying that that puck bounces to him on the back door, and you had Cedric Lacroix hacking and whacking and banging away as well. So a good idea there by Raskob to finally get the puck at the net on this Fuel power play.
Raskob wrists one wide off of the draw. Cliff Watson back over to Raskob. 14 seconds to go on the power play as Cliff Watson feeds Thomas left circle and a wrist one right through the slot looking for Marcineau.
Yeah, he was looking for that shot pass play. Remember, the Fuel were able to capitalize on a goal like that last night for Peter Krieger. They love that play. They picked that out. And if that's going to be there, keep going to it, looking for that shot pass redirect in the slot.
Komets were able to kill off the penalty and clear the zone. Indy with a quick re-entry. Lacroix pass for Marcineau. Steaming down the middle, broken up by Fort Wayne. Their outlet pass doesn't connect with Vive. And so the Fuel gain possession, and Raskob will hold it in the defensive zone, waiting for the new line mates to come on. Cuglietta over to the far side for Marcineau. He shoots from the inside of the right wing circle on goal, and Ferguson makes the save and holds on for a whistle.
Nice slip play there. Diego Cuglietta creating just a little bit of separation and sliding that puck right through the stick of Olivier Calipo to the streaking Matt Marcineau, who let a shot go and then in the aftermath kind of was waving his right hand. Might have gotten a slash on the hand in the process of shooting the puck, but another opportunity for the Fuel and a point-blank chance for a guy with 23 goals this year. And how about 7 of those 23 have been game winners, tied for the most in the entire ECHL. I think we can promptly nickname Matt Marcineau as Mr. Clutch for this Fuel team, considering the amount of important goals that he's scored all year long.
Fuel gained possession after Fort Wayne cleared back to the ND line off the draw. Dickinson stick handles past Vive into the zone. Ahead for 8
Speech off.
Right circle. Waits for reinforcements. Feeds Teixeira at the point. He shoots high, and Ferguson reaches up to make the glove save and holds on for a whistle. 7:58 to go. First period, the Fuel lead 1-0 on Terry Broadhurst's goal. 9-5 of the shots in Indy's favor. And Fort Wayne had a big push early. The Fuel have tilted the ice more to the other end here in recent minutes, bolstered in part by having 2 power plays.
They've been much better with control of the puck, spending less time in their own zone, and forcing Dylan Ferguson to have to make saves. And if you could test their goaltender, he's a good goalie, considering he is contracted into the American Hockey League, or the National Hockey League rather, with the Vegas Golden Knights. And you can see by the pads that he wears, got those Henderson Silver Knight colored pads.
Bit of silver and gold and white on those pads, and
got them all covered. Don't need to get a new pad if you go play for Vegas or for Henderson. Maybe if you come play for Fort Wayne, you might need to throw a little orange on there, get out the highlighter, and try and get a little orange in the pad.
He has played at all three levels of the organization, played a game for the Vegas Golden Knights in the 2017-18 season, and spent a good chunk of the year with Henderson. Shot from the point, deflected wide off the stick of Schneider, and Fort Wayne able to exit the zone. Hawkins pass ahead, knocked down by a fuel stick, and Zulsdorf clears it up the boards but not out, but Marcineau ties up his man. That allows Broadhurst to take the puck. Ahead to Hutchison across the line, left circle, drops it for Marcineau. He shoots from the left circle just wide, and Jackson Leaf hops on it for Fort Wayne. They may have a 2-on-1 developing. Hutchison hustles back as Boca shoots from the slot. Save made Christopoulos, and he holds on for a whistle with 7:19 to go. Now Hutchison is protecting his goaltender as he and one of the Komets pushing and shoving, and of course everybody else comes in to play peacemaker. Brodeur has Broadhurst in a headlock, and that's a slight size mismatch. Brodeur is huge, and Broadhurst is the smallest guy on the ice.
Yeah, the stat sheet has Matthew Brodeur 6'6", 225. Certainly a very large man, looking like an oak tree out on the ice. And the one positive thing out of that whole skirmish for the Fuel as Nick Hutchison's going to head to the box. Well, if a penalty wasn't going to be called since the Fort Wayne defenseman had come in, the faceoff would have come outside the zone. But now since there is a penalty called to Nick Hutchison, faceoff's going to stay in, and the Fuel's penalty kill is going to be tested for the first time here today.
So the only penalty coming out of that was on Hutchison, as he took exception to play in the crease. So Fort Wayne's very good power play on the ice. Marco Waugh with it. Right circle. Up top, Gallipo back to Waugh. Right circle. Skates in. Feeds Gallipo center point. Wrists one looking for Nellis. It's blocked wide by Cliff Watson. Those two tie each other up going into the boards. And a nice clear by Dmitry Osipov sends it all the way down.
Well, the coach that's in control of coaching the penalty kill, you'll often hear a phrase, one goes, we all go, and that was exactly it.
Marco Waugh gets behind the D, takes it to the forehand to Dmitry Osipov, comes back and lifts his stick right before he got the shot off and clears the puck.
And he's made two great plays earlier, helping out Cliff Watson. That was the one go, we all go type of play where first guy engages, then the other teammates come in to supply that support, clear the puck, and then an excellent job again by Dmitry Osipov.
Jared Thomas forces it free from Pochero as he was trying to cut through the neutral zone with speed. Fort Wayne will have to regroup in its own zone halfway through its first power play of the night. Stephen Harper across the Fuel line. Poke checked by Schneider. Indy can't clear as Vive holds it in, but the puck comes over to Marcineau, and he clears back out to neutral ice. Fort Wayne with the number one power play in the league at 26%, but they're just 2 for their last 20 entering tonight. 40 seconds remaining on this power play as Nick Boca skates it up. Headmans through the neutral zone to Harper. Along the left wing boards. Into the corner. Feeds it out in front for a point-blank shot from Vive, and Christopoulos with a positional save, and Broadhurst clears.
That was a huge stop from Billy Christopoulos as Fort Wayne not wasting any time, just barreling in over the zone, and a quick little play to Justin Vive, who slid that puck right along the ice, trying to go through the 5-hole of Christopoulos, but a sound stop as he was in a great position.
Fuel short-handed. Ryan Zulsdorf shoots from the high slot. Wide after Tommy Apap won a puck below the goal line on the forecheck. 3 seconds to go on Hutchison's penalty. Puck dug free by Gazzola in his own zone. Hutchison's out of the box. The Fuel are 1 for 1 on the kill. Gazzola curls back at his own line, still on the puck. Feeds Brandon Hawkins at the Fuel line. Wrists one over the goal, and Jared Thomas takes it for the Fuel. Tried to outlet, rink wide to an open corner, and Brandon Hawkins tracks it down for Fort Wayne. Drops it for Gazzola. Right point, center point. Gazzola with Zulsdorf out on him. Wrist one through the slot, blocked. Rebound put right back into the slot, and Cooper couldn't quite handle it. It goes wide of the goal. Nellis along the left wing boards. Rink wide to Gazzola. Right circle, skates in with traffic in front. Gazzola dips behind the net, tries a wraparound. Christopoulos able to make the save. And the rebound comes out to Hawkins. to Gazzola along the right wing boards. He's tied up, and Dickinson takes the puck, brings it out to center. The Komets will send it in and go for a change. Ryan Zulsdorf settles things down for Indy. 4:22 to go in the first period. Fuel lead at 1-0. Nellis in on the forecheck. As Willie Raskov now takes the puck, banks it off the boards out to center ice. Cuglietta rink wide through the neutral zone, and the pass from Lacroix is broken up by Gallipo. And the Komets gain possession, but only get it as far as center, where Cliff Watson picks it off. Ahead to Lacroix. He shoots from the top of the left wing circle wide. Puck in along the near boards. Cuglietta for Indy punches it off the wall, but it's collected by Fort Wayne, and they'll try to spring it out through center. Potential 3-on-2 developing as Brodeur gains the line, and Cliff Watson stands him up and pokes it free. Penalty coming as Diego Cuglietta was trying to spring forward. And then some pushing and shoving after the whistle. You can't tell these two teams have played 20 times, can you? It's been a feisty first period. We've got a break on the ice, 3:44 to go in the opening frame. The Fuel leading 1-0. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Hi, this is Jeff Wheeler, business manager of IBEW Local 41. I am proud to represent more than 3,000 union electrical workers in central Indiana. From Bankers Life Fieldhouse to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the annual Circle of Lights, we are proud to power your community. IBEW Local 41 is proud of our union membership and our community leadership.
Hoosier Home Furnishings is your home for quality furniture. Whether you're looking to upgrade your living room, bedroom, dining room, or your home office, we have high-quality furnishings at the right price. Hoosier Home Furnishings is family-owned and operated. Check out our showroom at 1005 East Main Street in Plainfield, or give us a call at 317-778-4128 and visit us at HoosierHomeFurnishings.com. Hoosier Home Furnishings, where quality doesn't have to be expensive.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey with Nick Olchak and Andrew Smith.
The Fuel headed back to the penalty kill as Cedric Lacroix is in the box for charging with 3:44 to go in the opening period. So Fort Wayne 0 for 1 on the power play, but right back to the man advantage. And the guy you want to keep an eye on, Brandon Hawkins, second in the league with 10 power play goals. He has 18 points of his 32 on the power play. And he's second in the league with those 10 power play goals despite playing just 32 ECHL games. Of course, Fort Wayne started the season late, and then he spent a month in the American Hockey League.
And what's so difficult to cover him is he doesn't just stay in one space. It's not like he's Alex Ovechkin where you know where he's going to be. He's able to generate offense and score goals from really everywhere around, always looking for shooting opportunities. So as a goalie, as a penalty killer, you have to have your head on a swivel. You got to know where he's at all times, because it doesn't matter where he is. He has the shot that's good enough to find the back of the net from anywhere in the offensive zone.
Fuel win the draw but can't clear as it's held in at the left point by Fort Wayne's Randy Gazzola. He walks the line, feeds Hawkins right circle, skates in, shoots off the crossbar. Jackson Leaf holds it in left point, skates in, bottom of the left wing circle, works it low for Oliver Cooper, back up to Hawkins right point. Eludes the first forechecker, then goes down as Dickinson forces it free. Those two tie each other up along the boards, and Indy takes the puck. Matt Marcineau out to center. Stick handles across the Fort Wayne line. Tries to take it into the left wing corner and does, and then plays it back out. I think he was trying to play it out to his D, and it was broken up by Hawkins. And the Komets will regroup in their own zone. A minute 15 to go on the power play. Fort Wayne is 0 for 1 tonight. 26% coming into tonight. And against the Fuel, they've been very good as well, at 26.9% on the season. Here's a dump in. Takes a crazy carom off of the corner boards right to the crease. Christopoulos couldn't cover, but the puck was forced wide. Rimmed around to Brandon Hawkins along the left wing boards. Into the left corner. Sends it out in front, and a stick lift prevents a shot from getting off. However, the Komets maintain possession. Cooper shoots, Mika Siebauer shoots, and it bounces around, and they score. It was Brandon Hawkins with another power play goal, and that was a play where you had a dump in. It took a strange bounce, and it just seemed like the Fuel were in scramble mode from there. And Fort Wayne in this season series has gotten all sorts of fortunate bounces, and there was another one as Siebauer took the shot, and the rebound came right to Hawkins. who was able to punch it past Christopoulos, and Fort Wayne's long power play drought has been snapped by their top power play guy. It's 1-1.
And that goal, that shot that found its way to the back of the net, came off the heels of a really nice defensive play by Tommy Apap. As a forward penalty killer, more times than not, you're traversing the upper half of the zone, covering the defenseman, but he came down low. He realized that the defenseman had strayed far away from the net. He made a great play defensively to lift the stick of Justin Vive, and then the puck careened to the side of the net for Brandon Hawkins. And I just got done talking about it. He doesn't just stay in one area. He's always flying around the zone, looking for different areas to get open. He finds the open spot, finds the open net, and the Fort Wayne power play comes through to tie the game late in the first.
Yeah, their power play has been just lethal all season, and a big reason why is Brandon Hawkins. That was his 11th power play goal of the year, his 6th, or make that his 5th against the Fuel.
And don't forget, earlier in that power play, he came down the near side and ripped one right off the post. So equally as good of a shooter when a goalie's in a good position as he is, trying to find the open net off of the net mouth scramble. And it's just what makes him such a versatile player. And a guy that if you lose coverage on him for even a second like that happened, he's got more than enough skill and ability to make you pay and to bury it in the back of the net as he stretches the twine. Or as you had said, Andrew, yet another power play goal to his name.
11 of his 21 this season have come with a man advantage. Offensive zone draw for the Fuel with 2:01 to go in the first period. Tommy Apap will be tossed out of the circle. So Josh Dickinson will take it against Anthony Nellis and win it to Pirog. He shoots blocked. Dickinson left circle, shoot, save made. Apap puts the rebound on goal. Ferguson again with the save and holds on for a whistle. 1:55 to go in the opening period. The Fuel have been very good on face-off plays, especially early in the season. And they're able to generate something with Dickinson taking a shot from below the goal line.
And, well, how do you become good at face-off plays? That's starting with possession. You got to have guys that can win the draw. Tommy Apap, a guy who never was below 5th in terms of all center icemen in his college career at Michigan State. In face-off winning percentage, he's dominant. You got a guy like Matt Marcineau who almost wins every face-off that he partakes in. You can certainly use that as a real signature weapon. But again, you have to have guys that can win draws, and the Fuel certainly have a lot of those guys, which allows them to run those face-off plays.
Final 95 seconds of the period. The Komets dump it in, and it was headed toward Billy Christopoulos' crease, so he'll calmly cover it up and get a whistle with 1:31 to go. Tied at 1 in the first period. It's fan appreciation night here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, and the person who puts this whole show together is Dana Roth, the Fuel's Director of Game Operations, and she will be our first intermission guest. Coming up after 91 seconds of hockey.
Another outstanding promotional night last night. Hockey is for everyone night. A tremendous initiative by the team, and now fan appreciation night. These special nights never seem to get old. I mean, we've had Teacher Appreciation Day, and now Fan Night. I mean, it's just awesome the amount that this Indy Fuel team and franchise gives back to their fans and tries to make it fun. Like, you're coming to see a hockey game, but you're also coming for the experience. And Dana Ross certainly a huge part in developing those nights and making sure that each and every fan that buys a ticket has a good time, whether it's their first game or their 1,000th game of watching a hockey game live in person.
Fuel bring it into the zone and create a little chaos in front of the net. Kuglietta at the top. It's up top. Osipov, one-timer blocked in front. Kuglietta finds it in the slot. Over to Cliff Watson, left point. Works it low for Thomas. Back up top for Osipov, center point. He looks for an opening. Your wrist one blocked as it hit the pile in front. Oliver Cooper will shovel it back to the Fuel line in the final minute of a first period that's tied at 1. Terry Broadhurst has scored for the Fuel. Brandon Hawkins answered for Fort Wayne on the power play. Kuglietta dumps it into the Fort Wayne end, and Pellick in on the forecheck as Ferguson had left for his defense. Fort Wayne able to elude that. Gazzola ahead to Lasarchik. He kicks it into the Fuel zone and peels off for a change with 35 seconds to go in the period. Schneider to Zulsdorf. Headmans to Broadhurst through center with speed. Drops it for Hutchison, back to Broadhurst, right corner. Tries to put it down in front for Marson, who blocked back to Broadhurst. And he takes down Boca, and there's going to be a penalty.
Well, this was a really delayed call, Andrew. When Boca went down, it was a really delayed call, so I would not be shocked if, it looks like he's taking them both. And you'd have to think that Boca's going to get some sort of embellishment call along with the original penalty to Terry Broadhurst. But it was like Boca went down, and then 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and then the arm went up from Nolan Bloyer. So the penalty to Broadhurst, whether it's tripping or hooking, and then you have to think that an embellishment of some sort is going to be called on Nick Boca.
Yeah, he signaled a hold on Broadhurst and then immediately an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Boca. So they'll both go. We'll skate 4 aside for 2 minutes. So Boca will sit for officially unsportsmanlike conduct, but it'll be an embellishment penalty. And he went down pretty easy.
Yeah.
And Broadhurst for holding. And so the faceoff stays in the Fort Wayne end. Dickinson and Thomas are the forwards. Teixeira and Raskob the D for Indy. And Thomas controls off the draw, right wing corner, punches it up to the point to Willie Raskob, walks the line, looks for an opening, wrist one, and it didn't get all the way through. And the Fuel try to hop on it, but it comes to the Komets. Hawkins across the Fuel line, playing pitch and catch with Murphy. Into the corner, Murphy gains the puck with 2, tried to center, but it was blocked right back into his skates, and thus concludes an action-packed and penalty-filled first period. That sees the Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets exit the first 20 minutes tied at 1. Terry Broadhurst scored early for the Fuel. Brandon Hawkins answered for Fort Wayne. Shots on goal in the period 13-12 in favor of the Fuel. Fort Wayne was 1 for 2 on the power play. Indy was 0 for 2 with the man advantage. We'll skate 4 aside for the next minute 39 to start the second period. It's our first intermission stats. They are brought to you by Body and Soul Massage Therapy. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. You can find them online at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com. Our first intermission show comes up right after this. Nick and I will recap the opening period. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which quite honestly doesn't look very good. Just give you a little preview of that, and we'll have our conversation with the Director of Game Operations, Dana Roth. That comes up right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a friendly, relaxing environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
When it comes to Hondas, your Central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelley Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself. Or shop the latest offers at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. What are you waiting for?
Hi, this is Jeff Wheeler, Business Manager of IBEW Local 41. I am proud to represent more than 3,000 union electrical workers in Central Indiana. From Bankers Life Fieldhouse to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the annual Circle of Lights, we are proud to power your community. IBEW Local 41 is proud of our union membership and our community leadership.
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey with Nick Olchek and Andrew Smith.
First intermission at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. The Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets are tied at 1. Terry Broadhurst opens the scoring for Indy, 3:54 into the first period. His 5th of the year from Jared Thomas and Willie Raskob gave the Fuel a 1-0 lead. But late in the period at 17:38, with Fort Wayne on its second power play of the game, Brandon Hawkins scores his 21st goal of the year, his 11th power play goal from Blake Siebenaller and Stephen Harper. to knot it up, and that's where we stand after one. Shots on goal, 13-12 in favor of Indy. And for the Fuel, I think a good first period, Nick. A couple of things. Obviously, especially after letting them play a lot last night, Nolan Boyer is calling a very tight game, and almost kind of the reverse of last night. He's been consistent with it, and each team has had a power play and a post-whistle penalty. Haven't been able to capitalize on those, but Fort Wayne did capitalize on the charging penalty to Cedric Lacroix that came as the Fuel were exiting the zone. And one thing you cannot do is give this Fort Wayne team too many opportunities with a man advantage. Is when you're facing somebody that clicks at 26%, they're going to hurt you if you give them too many chances.
Well, I think, Andrew, in terms of when you're talking about the official on a game-to-game basis, what can you ask of the referee? The only thing I think that you can ask is that they're consistent, like you had said. You're going to call the game the same way from the start to the finish. Now, I think you could say, well, I'd like you to call all the games the same. I mean, the reality is come playoff time, more is allowed to have happen and less penalties are called. I mean, that's just the reality of professional hockey. But if that's the way the game's going to be called, and we had 8 penalties in the first period, 2 power plays per team, then that's fine. But you have to call the second period that way, and you have to call the third period that way. You have to be, that's the consistency that you're looking for, what makes a good referee. And I think Nolan Boyer has done a nice job. He said, okay, we're going to let the boys play last night. Okay, fine. 3 power plays, 4 power plays, last night. And tonight already 2 for each team and a lot of penalties in the first period. So, that's how you can establish and put your stamp on the game as a ref, and you let the guys know and say, okay, hey, if you're going to engage and partake in the extracurriculars after the whistle, and I'm going to send you to the box, then that's going to strike a chord with the players because they don't want to go to the penalty box. At least some guys don't. A lot of guys want to be out there playing and trying to score goals. So if that's the precedent that you're going to set as a referee, that's fine. But it has to be that way come the second and the third period and the rest of the way in this game. But some good things to like in that first period for the Fuel. A really nice play on the goal by Terry Broadhurst. Just great patience. Awesome poise with the puck by Jared Thomas, and he was kind of skating out away towards traffic when he then sent the puck back towards in the middle of the ice. And why was that ice open? It's because he dragged the defender with him away, and that allowed Terry Broadhurst, who just came steaming off the bench, to work himself into the middle of the ice and then let the shot go, beating Dylan Ferguson short side on a heck of a shot. And then, of course, the power play goal to Brandon Hawkins. And I think you said it perfectly, Andrew. You cannot give Fort Wayne power play opportunity after power play opportunity, because though they might not score on the first or the second or the third, you give them a fourth and a fifth, there's a pretty darn good chance that they're going to be able to capitalize with the amount of skill that they have. And by the way, a guy we've talked about ad nauseum, Brandon Hawkins, a power play specialist, he's able to get on the board and tie the game for Fort Wayne. So there were some things to clean up, and I did like the process of early in that first period for the Indy Fuel defensively. Little lackluster with the puck. I felt they got a lot better as that first period went on in terms of breaking the puck out cleanly and not allowing the Fort Wayne Komets to hem them in their own zone.
Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. South Carolina leads Wheeling 4-2 through 2 periods. South Carolina and Orlando are tied for 4th right now at .553 winning percentage. The Fuel with a .578 winning percentage in 3rd place. Orlando leads Florida 3-2 after a high-scoring first period. Jacksonville and Greenville are tied at 1-1. Jacksonville currently in 6th place, but just sitting about 40 percentage points back of Indy, and those are all the games currently underway. There's 3 Western Conference games that will face off later. Here the Fuel and Komets are tied at 1. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will meet the Fuel's Director of Game Operations, Dana Roth. It's right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, after tomorrow's big Indy 500, more hockey action at Indiana Farmers Coliseum on Monday. It's Memorial Day, so it's also Military Night presented by T-Mobile. The Fuel salute the service men and women who keep us safe every single day. And throughout the night, there'll be tributes made to military personnel for serving our country and dedicating their lives to fighting for our freedom. Make sure you get here for Monday night's very special military night. Your tickets are available now at IndyFuelHockey.com. Again, that's IndyFuelHockey.com. We'll see you Monday at 7:05 against the Fort Wayne Komets. Hashtag no breaks. Back to the action with Nick Goldcheck and Andrew Smith with Indy Fuel Hockey.
Our intermission guest tonight on Fan Appreciation Night is the Indy Fuel's Director of Game Operations, Dana Roth. And Dana, first of all, thanks for joining us here in the broadcast booth. And it's Fan Appreciation Night. It's an opportunity that we take to say thanks to our great fans that have come in all year. And your job is a big part of making sure their game night experience is really good. So go ahead and describe a little bit of what you do behind the scenes to present this great game night experience we have here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. A little bit about my job. It's my job to make sure that every fan in the stands has a great experience, whether they're a fan of hockey or not. So it could be someone's very first game, and I want to make sure that they can come back. But there's something for everyone. So I do everything from national anthem singer. I plan every sound you hear. I write everything that the PA announcer says, everything that happens on the video board, the ribbon boards, the DJ, everything that Nitro does. So if it's not the game of hockey, it's mine.
And that means you're kind of juggling a lot of balls in the air at any given time, not just during the game, but before the game as well. How much work goes into presenting one game?
So it honestly depends on the game. So, for example, last night's Hockey's for Everyone night was a little bit more intricate, so we made sure that all the video board stuff matched, all the different pieces were cohesive. So sometimes games like that take months and months to plan. Some of our games that are a little less intricate are a little less time-consuming, but for the most part, it takes several months to kind of plan all the different details to make sure everyone's ready to go, and it's a great experience for everyone.
Well, Dana, Ball State, Arizona State, what are some things that you learned throughout your college career that has helped you transition into doing what you do now?
Sure. When I was at Arizona State, I was a graduate assistant, so I was full-time, but I was in school full-time too. So that was huge in time management. I was a graduate assistant for football, baseball, basketball, gymnastics, and volleyball. So I was handling 5 different sports all at the same time, so that was really helpful when trying to plan a hockey game and trying to manage all of that too.
So what you're saying is there's nothing that you can't do, or no sport at least.
Correct. I had only done a little bit of hockey when I was at Arizona State, which is a huge up-and-coming program, so it was fun to be part of that. And then when I got to come here, I got to use some of those.
Speech on.
Really cool.
So you work with a pretty darn good staff.
Address.
There are a lot of
Mic.
interns
Screen
that
recording in
do a lot of great
progress.
work along with the rest of the game day staff.
Read more.
So what's
Link.
it like working with those great
www.indyfuelhockey.com.
process of getting
Link.
all those important things ready for the fan experience?
Sure, it's everything. I think a lot of my job is trust. I can do all the planning that I can do on my end until I hand it over to those other hands, and then I have to really trust that they're going to do their job, and I have to trust them to do that. I have to trust that I have prepared them well enough in order to execute a great show as I've envisioned it. So a lot of it is explaining 100 times what I want them to do and hope that they can do the exact same thing. So it's all about who you surround yourself with, and I'm surrounded by some of the best.
And a two-parter here. First off, when did you know that this is something that you wanted to do? And secondly, if somebody is aspiring to do what you do and to prep everything that goes on during the course of a game, what's some advice that you would give to a younger person who maybe wants to be in your position one day?
Sure. The first part, how I wanted to know I was going to do this is I was a cheerleader in college. And I was asked to be part of a corporate partnered activity. I had to hold a basketball or something, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, how does this tie in? So I started asking those questions. So being a cheerleader kind of like got me in the door, but then I really started asking all those fun questions about like, what does this do? What does this fulfill in a contract? And how am I important? How am I aiding in the success of this contract? So that's really kind of how I got started. Some of my advice that I tell my interns all the time is to ask all those questions. Shadow everyone that you can and figure out all the pieces and how they click together. So whether it's Jordan in partnerships or Mark in media relations, ask all the questions and follow them around. We all work so closely together and you don't even know it. So there's so many other avenues to kind of get into with sports instead of just playing. I mean, as you guys know up here, so it takes all the hands to make a good show. So I think knowing how all those pieces work together is so valuable.
And you mentioned working with partners, and obviously your job is to present this great show to our fans, but also make sure sponsors get fulfilled and a lot of other roles. How do you work with Jordan and our sponsorship coordinator and everybody else to keep everybody happy?
it's rough. It's hard. To be really honest, it's hard. It's hard to please. There's lots of different people that have opinions on how the show should look. But at the end of the day, the whole point is to put on a good show and make sure our partners are happy. So it's kind of being creative with their content. For example, the National Guard is doing like a true and false
Speech off.
Instead of just doing a PA read that talks about what's important to them, we're going to do a game to kind of show that off. So it's entertaining on my end for the
Speech
fans,
on.
but it's also highlighting each of their piece too, that it's important to them.
And
so
it must be difficult because you're trying to balance all the opinions of everybody else while trying to envision what you want to have. Is it tough to not just manage everybody else, but kind of stay firm and stick to your guns because you have a vision, and while you're going to be taking into consideration other people's opinions and maybe they have ideas that you didn't think of prior that you can, kind of inject into what you foresee, but is that probably one of the most difficult parts of your job, is trying to handle everything else while kind of following through on the vision that you have on a game-to-game basis?
Absolutely. That is hands down the hardest part, is pleasing. And at the end of the day, it's my show, but there's also so many other people involved that I want them to enjoy the show just as much and let their ideas kind of shine through too. But definitely the hardest part of my job is trying to please and trying to make sure that like my vision is portrayed. And sometimes my vision's not the best vision. So sometimes I appreciate all of that input, and other times not so much. But for the most part, I enjoy having other people's opinions join me too. So.
And when we think about this year especially has been a challenging year throughout sports, and with so much influx and capacity restrictions and distancing requirements, how much has that changed your job and added an extra challenge into your role?
Exactly. Extra challenge is the perfect way to put that. We've had to really be creative with the space that we have and how to do things from a distance and what that looks like.
WW
Tosses from a distance, keeping Scott nearby,
70 followers. Link.
The crowd. So we've had to adjust a couple of different things, but at the end of the day, the whole point is to make sure that fans want to come back, regardless of whatever COVID season looks like. We want them to come back next season, buy tickets and all of that fun stuff. So keeping them engaged is the most exciting part, and it's really pushed me on my end to be creative.
One thing I know Jim Hallett and Larry McQuarrie said last summer is, whatever happens, we are not going to compromise the show, and we are going to make sure that we give our fans a top-notch experience, and you've been a big part behind the scenes of making sure that happens and putting on a tremendous show every night for our fans. And Dana Roth, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And we'll enjoy your handiwork here the last couple nights of the regular season and hopefully long into the playoffs.
Yes, hopefully.
That's the Indy Fuels Director of Game Operations, Dana Roth. We'll take a break. Nick and I will be back with a second period right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
This is Dr. Ram Yaleti, Chief Physician Executive at Community Health Network. I know that for a lot of you, COVID-19 has changed your day-to-day lives in some pretty dramatic ways. But as things are progressing, there's one thing we sincerely hope you'll continue to do just as before, and that's to seek medical care when you need it. So please, focus on getting the care you need, and we'll focus on keeping you safe while you do.
There's no safer place to be. Learn more at ecommunity.com.
Stand by.
Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Wednesday, the Indy Fuel wrap up the regular season home schedule and prep for the playoffs. The Fuel hosts the Kansas City Mavericks at 7, but get there early because it's all-you-can-eat night. Yeah, you heard correctly. All-you-can-eat night means unlimited hot dogs, hamburgers, and popcorn all night. And with the Fuel headed to the playoffs, everyone is ready to celebrate. Let's go, Fuel! Wednesday is also Player Appreciation Night. Get your tickets now. IndyFuelHockey.com. That's IndyFuelHockey.com. Back to the action with Nick Goldcheck and Andrew Smith with Indy Fuel Hockey.
We're getting ready to begin the second period here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Both teams back on the ice as the Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets are tied at 1. Terry Broadhurst and Brandon Hawkins, the goal scorers. The shots 13-12 in favor of the Fuel. Will be 4-on-4 for a minute 39 to begin the second period. This is the second of a 3-game series between these two teams this weekend, with all of the games here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Last night, a 2-1 Fort Wayne victory in overtime. And tonight, another close checking game, and the goaltenders have been good. But last night, we saw right at the end of the game, Peter Krieger was dinged up on the play that eventually led to Fort Wayne's overtime goal. And the dimension that he brought to this team, you could just see in his one game since coming back, we certainly hope to see him back in the lineup very soon.
Oh, he's a difference maker in every facet of the game. Face-off circle and two ways offensively, being able to set up teammates and score himself. Such an important player for this Indy Fuel team, and he came back. He made the instant impact, scoring a goal, a beautiful redirect on a shot from Willie Raskob at the point, and I think it was just an unfortunate play, Andrew, and I've watched the hit by A.J. Jenks probably 157 times over the last couple of hours, and to me, I didn't think there was anything malicious in it. I didn't think you could sit there and call a big penalty. It was a case where Peter Krieger, it was a race to the puck. Krieger won it, and as he was trying to throw off Jenks, throw him off course, he did a little shoulder fake left to act and try and throw Jenks off and pretend like he was going left, and then tried to turn back right. And as that was happening, Jenks was already committed to the hit. And I think it's just an unfortunate hockey play where Krieger went into the boards, feet first. His left leg kind of buckled and his right leg went straight. And just a tough play to watch. And you're right. I mean, hopefully Peter Krieger can come back soon. But at least that's the way that I saw the play. I don't think it was anything overly malicious or awful about the hit. I think it was just a guy trying to fake another guy out and another guy making contact. And Peter Krieger, as I said, too bad for him going into the boards in a rough way. So hopefully he's able to heal up soon, and such a big part of this team. And I know the Fuel are very happy to have him back for the playoff run.
We're underway in the second period. Fuel win the draw to begin the period. Rink wide pass doesn't connect with Cliff Watson, but Dickinson forces it free in the right wing corner in the Fort Wayne end. Battling with Gallipo, but Nellis is able to take it back. Skates it up through center headmans to Petrozelli right at the logo across the Fuel line. Right wing circle. Petrozelli forced into the boards by Cliff Watson, and Dmitry Osipov takes the puck for the Fuel. Outlets to center. Dickinson softly into the Fort Wayne zone looking for Osipov. Wanted past him by Gallipo. And the puck comes to an open wing where Gallipo gets it. Siemenauer was down, slow to get up, but he is up now and skating to the bench under his own power with no apparent issues. Apap wins the puck, sends it low. And up top now for Willie Raskob. Over to Teixeira. Skates in. Across to Thomas. Catch, release, and misses high. And out of play. Jared Thomas had some time to catch and release and fire from the right wing faceoff dot, but I think it may have gotten deflected on the way in and out of play.
Yeah, that was Matt Murphy who sold out right in front of Dylan Ferguson, who was well out of position. And the Fuel worked the puck from one side of the ice to the other and then back the same way. So tough for a goaltender to track that puck when it's pretty much touching one side boards and going all the way back to the other. And it was Jared Thomas who made that initial pass to the point. And then Keone Teixeira with a heck of a pass across the seam. And if not for Matt Murphy, Jared Thomas, who leads the Fuel with points against Fort Wayne, coming into this game had 11 assists on the first goal, now has 12. If not for the block shot of Matt Murphy, the Fuel have the lead.
They might have just had the lead as well as the puck came to Spencer Watson off the draw, but he just missed. Raskob fires, save made, rebound, Spencer Watson scores! Had a near miss off the face-off. The Fuel retrieve the puck, get it around to Willie Raskob. His initial shot is stopped by Ferguson, but the rebound comes right to Spencer Watson, who fires it home, and the Fuel lead it 2-1.
Well, Spencer Watson makes the pass across the way to Willie Raskob. He wins the battle along the boards. Watch this. Quick little escape move, gets past two, cross-seam play, and he doesn't just stay to the outside. He follows it up right to the net because he has the awareness and the knowledge that Willie Raskob is going to direct that puck towards the net. Great shot here, nice and low, putting it in the pads, looking for a rebound. And you had two players at the net front, and one of them is Spencer Watson, who banging on the glass, happy to get a goal. Is able to convert for the Fuel and give them the lead.
Ben Boudreau's talking to the referee, Nolan Bloyer.
And I think he's trying to make a case for goaltender interference. It was Jared Thomas at the net front. Whether there was contact or not didn't look obvious to me. And Nolan Bloyer, the official, not even to go and look at it. So a good goal called on the ice. It's going to stand, and that's a huge goal for the Fuel. Big goal for Spencer Watson, who has really started to find some form. And this year it's been a tough year for him. Battling injuries, trying to stay in the lineup. He's come back in the lineup and then gotten hurt again. Just awesome to see him pick up that goal, and he's been a big-time producer for the Fuel in the last couple of games since coming back.
Got the ice crew doing some ice maintenance, so we've got a slight delay. The goal is Spencer Watson's 13th of the year from Willie Raskob and Jared Thomas. That's 2 assists each for Raskob and Thomas tonight. Watson now has goals in 4 of his last 5 games. And starting to return to form. He's a guy who's dealt with injuries a lot this season, and he's been a consistent 20-goal scorer in this league. At 22 2 years ago, had 30 last year with the Fuel, and this year now 13 in 38 games. He'd be on pace for 20 if he were playing a full season, but has missed a number of games due to injuries.
Yeah, he's very much a streaky goal scorer, and think back to the goal he had against the Wheeling Nailers on Wednesday. I mean, the puck just deflected into the back and then off of his shin guard, so you'll take him. And as a goal scorer, when you start to see those crooked numbers go up on the board under the goal column, you start to gain a lot of confidence, and the net turns into the size of a soccer net.
Here's a chance for the Komets as Leaf wins the puck below the goal line, feeds Gazzola on the doorstep, and Christopoulos calmly steers it aside. And Willie Raskob skates it out through center. Headmans to Marcineau across the line. Left wing circle. Dangles around Hawkins. Takes it to goal, but couldn't get the shot off. And the Komets clear it back to the Fuel line. 18-10 to go. Fuel lead 2-1. Marcineau to Terry Broadhurst across the line along the right wing boards. Dips the shoulder. Takes it below the net. Puts it into the crease. And it's sent just wide from the top of the crease. Lasarchik loses the puck to Cuglietta. Couldn't keep it in the zone, however. He'll go rink wide to Lacroix, who settles it down back in his own end. 17:48 to go, second period. Indy leads Fort Wayne 2-1. Cuglietta tips it forward, couldn't get it past Gallipo. Zulsdorf hammers it in. And the goaltender Ferguson stops it for Brodeur. Lacroix in on the forecheck. Brodeur's headman pass for Waugh doesn't connect, and this will be an icing. Whistle with 17:30 to go, second period. Indy leads 2-1. Spencer Watson and Terry Broadhurst, the goal scorers for Indy, and Jared Thomas and Willie Raskob have the assists on both goals. Brandon Hawkins with a power play goal for Fort Wayne in between the two Indy tallies. Michael Pellick will take this draw in between Hutchison and Cuglietta. And wins it too cleanly as he split the goalposts right between the D. And so Cliff Watson will track it down behind his own net. Fort Wayne, and it's 1-2-2 neutral zone trap. Indy tries to headman through the neutral zone and gets it to Cuglietta off the boards with an indirect pass. A feed looking for Pellick, doesn't connect, but Osipov takes it below the goal line. All the way around the left wing boards. Cliff Watson activates to keep it alive. Into the left corner for Cuglietta. Tries to spin past a check, but couldn't get it past Gallipo. Comes out to center where Hutchison settles it down for the Fuel. Goes back to the defense and Dmitry Osipov to start the breakup. Feed through center, picked off by Fort Wayne. Nellis couldn't handle it cleanly. Cuglietta comes across to take the puck across the Fort Wayne line. Into the high slot. Couldn't do much with it as it was 1-on-4, and Nellis takes it back. He'll go back behind his own net for Brodeur as the Fuel change out. Nellis self-pass, gets past Dickinson across the Fuel line. Tried to center, broke it up, but comes back to Nellis behind the net. Raskob follows him into the far boards and ties him up, but Waugh takes the puck in the right wing corner. Working on APAP. Chips it along the wall. Dickinson forces it past the D, but not out. Held in by Lasarchik. Into the right wing circle. Puck tipped into the high slot and sent out of the zone by the Fuel. Gazzola steps up to stop Indy's rush, but Tommy Apap comes back to take the puck back from him, and Indy will gain possession. Looking to headman to Pirog across the Fort Wayne line. He and Boca ride each other into the boards. Into the right wing corner in the Fort Wayne end. Dickinson takes the puck, turnaround shot blocked by Jackson Leaf, who takes the puck and chips it off the boards out to neutral ice. Willie Raskob to Keone Teixeira, playing pitch and catch back with Raskob at his own line. Diagonal feed to Hutchison across the Fort Wayne line. Shoots from the left point. And a calm glove save made by Ferguson. He holds on for a whistle. 15:41 to go. Second period, Indy leads 2-1.
Well, Nick Pirog starting this game and still to this point playing on that third line with Josh Dickinson and Tommy Apap. Nick Pirog, the second leading goal scorer on this Indy Fuel team with 22 goals. He's had a very strong year. Goals have been hard to come by. The offense has dried up a little bit for him here as of late. but a type of guy who can play any which way you want. He's not going to mope and pout by playing on the third line. Still a pretty darn good line with APAP and Dickinson. Certainly he's playing with a couple of guys who can make some things happen. And I think another thing for Doug Christensen, that just lengthens out the lineup, and now you got a serious scoring threat on your top line, your second line, and, of course, Pirog now on your third line. So I think he's fit in well, a guy who can play any which way.
And here's a shot from the Komets. Adams Moisan goes high. Brodeur holds it in. And behind the net to Cooper. Into the right wing circle. Try to play it up to the point. Broken up by Terry Broadhurst, and now to play. And now Adams Moisan and Schneider drop the gloves. Here they go. They have each other tied up. Schneider tries to free the right hand. Get a jab in. Adams Moisan tries to do the same. Schneider again tries to get in a jab. Misses with an uppercut. Again, they tie each other up. Adams Moisan trying to wrestle Schneider down. Schneider gets a punch in with the right. Adams Moisan can't free the right hand, now does. They each trade rights. Again, tie each other up. The linesman letting him go. They again trade rights. Schneider trying to free the right hand. Adams Moisan driving him toward the net and then takes him down. That developed very quickly. They were talking to each other, and next thing you know, the gloves are off. And however, I think this is a trade Fort Wayne will take. Adams Moisan, a fourth liner, kind of a tough guy that not afraid to drop the gloves, and Schneider has been a really good defenseman for the Fuel, and so Indy will have to play with 5D for the next 5 minutes.
Oh, that's
or maybe longer. They're sending Schneider to the dressing room, and that may be that may not be penalty related, as George Bullock, the trainer, is also headed to the dressing room with him.
Yeah, you'd think it has something to do with something medical for Jordan Schneider, so hopefully he's okay and able to return sooner than later as he answers the bell in that tussle with Morgan Adams Moisan, who is no stranger to the penalty box, no stranger to shedding the gloves. And for a lot of that fight, those guys had on the Velcro mitts. It just were locked up, not able to get a whole lot of punches through, which a couple were able to land. And the young man, Jordan Schneider, playing in his rookie season, gets a fighting major on the resume and held his own up until that takedown at the end by Moisan.
That's his first career fighting major for Schneider. It is not for Adams Moisan, who now has 109 penalty minutes this season. So they'll sit for 5 minutes each.
And you really hope that George Schneider is not hurt, because you think about the amount of Fuel defensemen they have lost to fights this season. Think of Scott Savage. Yoni Teixeira missed some time because of an injury due to a fight, so really hoping and keeping the fingers crossed that he's okay.
Cedric Lacroix takes the puck in his own zone. Rink wide through the neutral zone, right to the tape of Thomas. Across the line, up the right side to Osipov. Right circle, shoots right into the chest of Ferguson, who holds on for a whistle. 14:37 to go, second period. The Fuel lead it 2-1.
Well, we talked about the impact and the importance of Dmitry Osipov, and we talk a lot about how hard of a hitter he is, and it's like trying to get over a mountain when you're trying to get past him as a forward, but it's that offensive flair that he has in his game, and he just showed it on that last play, the ability to jump into the play and activate from the point on a drop pass and take it in, and a good save by Dylan Ferguson as he was on the top of his crease coming out to cut down the angle. Not a lot of net to shoot at for Dmitry Osipov, but he's that five-tool defenseman of defense, size, offense, physicality. Such an important part to this D-core for the Fuel, and able to generate a little bit more offense, resulting in an offensive zone face-off here for the Fuel with 14:37 to go in the second.
Komets win the draw. Murphy tried to go D to Gazzola, didn't connect. Dickinson takes it off the wall. Into the left wing corner, past APAP, back to Dickinson. He's shoved off the puck by Gazzola, but Dickinson trying to stay with it, forces it over to the far boards, and finally squirts out to neutral ice where Dickinson takes it for Indy. Goes back to the D. Willie Raskob along the near boards. Back for Teixeira up the middle of the ice. Headman's looking for APAP. Doesn't connect. The Komets play it back to the Fuel line. Indy sends it back in, and APAP couldn't touch the puck because he would have been offside. So Dickinson breaks up Fort Wayne's rush at neutral ice and sends it back into the Komet zone. Pelican to forecheck as Gazzola collects the puck. They work it through the neutral zone to Murphy. Rink wide pass to Hawkins. Fires a slap shot from the right wing circle. Save made. A weak side rebound to Petrozelli. He's forced behind the net. Raskob is able to jar the puck free and take it in the far corner and chip it out to neutral ice all the way down to the Fort Wayne end. Brodeur collects there. Lobs it up through center. Raskob bunts it forward to open ice, but coming back to take it is Nellis for the Komets. Tried to play it ahead to Waugh, broken up by the Fuel. Forced back up to neutral ice. Nellis this time to Lasarchik. Gains the line to Waugh. Left circle. Goes wide behind the net. Raskob following him. Up to the point, Gallipo walking the line, wrist one on goal, blocker save Christopoulos. Brodeur in the left wing corner. Tries to put it out in front to Lasarchik, high slot. Drops it for Waugh, turnaround shot blocked into the slot. Nellis turnaround shot and Christopoulos kept it out. Waugh wrists it in through both corners to Gallipo. Good zone time here for Fort Wayne. And Teixeira bats the puck free, and it's deflected out of play, and the linesman very quickly signaling it's a deflection and therefore not a penalty. 12:52 to go in the second period. The Fuel leading Fort Wayne 2-1. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you get care at Community Health Network, you're part of our community. And in our community, nothing should get between you and your health, not even the cost of care. When the time comes, our advocacy team will help you figure it out, whether you're uninsured or underinsured, so you can focus on what really matters, your health. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. Get support at ecommunity.com/simply delivered.
Stand by me.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a friendly, relaxing environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey with Nick Olchek and Andrew Smith.
12:52 to go in the second period. The Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets in action tonight. Indy leading 2-1. Spencer Watson's 13th goal of the year. 1:03 into the second period has given the Fuel the lead.
And during that TV timeout, Andrew, Jordan Schneider came from the locker room and is now back in the penalty box. So great to see Schneider. He'll serve the remainder of that 5-minute major he earned on the fight with Morgan Adams-Moisan. So good to see Jordan Schneider back in the game.
Fuel win the draw, and they tried to hit Marcineau on a home run pass, but it didn't connect, so they iced the puck, and we'll do it again. Taking a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Not good news from South Carolina. The Stingrays lead Wheeling 5-2 with 7:03 to go in the third period. And in Orlando, the Solar Bears lead the Florida Everblades 3-2 with 7:55 to go in the second. Jacksonville and Greenville are tied at 1, also midway through the second. Again, the Fuel battling South Carolina, Orlando, and Jacksonville. 2 available spots in the playoffs, and those 4 teams are all bunched up.
This time of year, every point counts, especially when you're talking about points percentage. And the Fuel right now, I mean, .025 of a point for being out of a playoff spot. I mean, it's just going to go right down to the wire between 3 teams battling for 4 teams really battling for 3 spots.
And the Fuel play it up to the point. Zulsdorf wrists it wide. Hutchison takes it off the end boards below the net as it raked off of his stick by Brodeur. And he tries to outlet. Pochero punches it out to center. Zulsdorf steps up to ward it free from Cooper. And Broadhurst across to Hutchison across the line. 3-on-3, and Hutchison missed stick handled. And then Gallipo flips it out to center. Broadhurst collects. Spins past Oliver Cooper. Then Cooper, a nice back check and a good poke check, takes the puck from Broadhurst. But Osipov comes back to clean that up.
A good second effort by Oliver Cooper, and I think Terry Broadhurst fortunate to get away with a penalty there as he was lunging and reaching with his stick, was able to trip up Cooper, denying the rush.
There's Lacroix across the line. Left hash, wrists one on goal. Blocker save Ferguson. Up to the point. Watson tried to play it down the wall, but it was picked off by Murphy. Now Jackson Leaf through center. Plays it into the right wing corner, looking for Brandon Hawkins. Tried to send it back out in front for Leaf, broken up by the Fuel. Jared Thomas drops for Spencer Watson. Takes it out to neutral ice along the left wing boards as far as the Fort Wayne line, where the play is broken up by the Komets. And they had Brandon Hawkins splitting the D, but they couldn't get the pass to him. Puck in the Indy zone. Hawkins, turnaround shot, score. Brandon Hawkins seems to be involved in every single goal against the Fuel, and they couldn't connect with him on the home run pass, but they were able to retrieve the puck. Hawkins took it, bottom of the right wing circle, after the Komets won the puck along the boards, and just threw it out in front, and Anthony Nellis put it home, and we're tied at 2.
Oh, that's a special play from a special player. I mean, there's no way around it. And why, Andrew, is Brandon Hawkins always involved? Because he knows the areas of the ice where you have to go if you want to score and make things happen offensively. If he's not carrying the puck, he's hanging around the net. And that's one thing about him. He's not the biggest guy. Under 6 foot. Plays a lot bigger than his size. And he made a heck of a pass there backdoor to Anthony Nellis. And the one special part about that play is he knew where Nellis was before Brandon Hawkins even got to the puck. So he didn't even have to look and then pass. He just knew that Nellis was on his way to the back door. And Nellis not able to be picked up by the Indy Fuel defenseman on a quick developing play at the net front. And a spinning play on the forehand. Hawkins finds Nellis for the game-tying goal.
Nellis is 10th of the year from Hawkins and Petrozelli at .851. And we're tied at 2. The Fuel have had 2 leads. Fort Wayne has had the answer each time. And so Tommy Apap to take an offensive zone draw against the aforementioned Nellis. And we have another false start. Nellis will be tossed out of the circle, so Apap will take it against Waugh.
Think about it for Fort Wayne, too. I mean, no A.J. Jenks, no Sean Sidlowski. I mean, those are 2 really important players, so that means even more ice time for a guy like Brandon Hawkins, and just allows him to take his game to another level, and is already, I mean, we're not even at the halfway point in this hockey game, and has put a major stamp on this game, just as he seemingly has every time he plays the Indy Fuel.
2 points in this one, as he has a goal and an assist. Dickinson tried to headman for Pirog, pass a little too far out in front of him. Comes in behind the Fort Wayne net where Gazzola collects. Outlets to Lasarchik. And it's punched forward by Nellis all the way in on Christopoulos, and he'll have to cover it up. We get a whistle with 10:25 to go in the second period. Indy and Fort Wayne tied at 2. The third of 3 games between these 2 teams is Monday at 7:05 p.m. And then just one more home game remaining after that, and that will be Wednesday against the Kansas City Mavericks, another 7:05 p.m. face-off, and then 2 games at Wheeling Friday and Saturday to close out the regular season.
And those games could mean a whole lot, Andrew. And considering how the Fuel played against the Wheeling Nailers the last time that those 2 teams played on Wednesday last week, 5-1 winner for the Wheeling Nailers. I mean, as I said earlier, this thing's going to go down to the wire, and those 2 games against a Wheeling team that has really struggled all year, I mean, those games could be absolutely massive for this Fuel team when talking about trying to get into the playoffs. Not a whole lot of time left to go, and I think this game is absolutely critical for the Fuel to try and win tonight.
Cuglietta at his own at the Fort Wayne line, sends it back to Osipov as we're halfway through the game, tied at 2. Michael Pellick tries a self-pass into the left wing corner. Harper takes it, but Pellick able to force it back into the left wing corner. Chipped along the boards up to Teixeira, left point. A wrist one through, traffic save made, a rebound, tumbling around in the slot, and Cuglietta just couldn't get to it.
Well, the reason why is the rookie Stephen Harper made an unbelievable stick lift play to deny Cuglietta to be able to get that puck on his stick and sling it towards the net. A heck of a play out of Fort Wayne center iceman.
Brandon Hawkins with it, bottom of the left wing circle, shoots, save made, rebound loose in the crease, squirts wide. Cuglietta hops on it, tried to headman it forward to the neutral zone. Didn't connect, but Cuglietta takes it back at neutral ice. Gains the Fort Wayne line, left hash. His shot blocked wide by Gazzola and behind the net. Petrozelli with it for Fort Wayne. Curls through the neutral zone, across the Fuel line. His shot blocked wide. Rebound hits the bottom of the string. Zulsdorf can't get it out. Hawkins, turnaround shot from the high slot, blocked in front by Zulsdorf. Outlets to Pirog, he'll backhand it along the boards. Gazzola takes a bump from Marcineau, shakes off the check, and then takes the puck across the middle of the ice, but couldn't get it through Broadhurst, who picks it off twice. Couldn't headband to Marcineau. Murphy's pass across, tipped into the fuel zone by Hawkins. Willie Raskob takes it, raked off of his stick, and the Fort Wayne end. Marcineau comes back for the puck and sends it to an open side to Willie Raskob, who's tangled up with a referee and finally settles the puck down. Raskob, stretch pass to the Fort Wayne line to Marcineau. He bats it down, but can't corral it. Gallipo ahead to Nellis, tips it into the fuel zone. Zulsdorf looks over his shoulder with Nellis forechecking, takes the puck and then loses it. Gallipo high slot shoots. Blocker save made by Christopoulos. 8:05 to go second period, tied at 2. Nellis now with a high slot for Fort Wayne. Leaves it for Waugh, back to Nellis. Right circle shot, save made. Rebound! Lasarchik and Christopoulos got that one too. He'll hold on for a whistle. Big push from Fort Wayne, 7:56 to go in the second period, tied at 2.
And the most recent push, a result of the aggressive forecheck from Fort Wayne. You had Alan Lasarchik and Anthony Nellis going hard in on the forecheck, forcing a turnover by Ryan Zulsdorf, who tried to make an escape move and split right between both the Fort Wayne players. The puck was turned over. They were able to gain possession and then get that shot off, in which Billy Christopoulos has to make a cover. Shades of early in the first period for the Fuel of just handing the puck over to Fort Wayne. And again, they will feast on you if you give them the chances, as we've seen this year when the Fuel played against them. But that's why you have one of the best goaltenders in the league, Billy Christopoulos, there to bail you out and to be the safety valve.
Indy wins the defensive zone draw. Spencer Watson into zone line. Stick handles past to Comet, now ahead to Thomas. Tried to curl a drag into the middle, but Nick Boca able to poke check him. The Comets play it up to the point, but not out. Turnaround shot, Cliff Watson blocks. Spencer Watson with a shot, and coming across to make an incredible glove save is Ferguson, and he holds on for a whistle with 7:37 to go and keeps this game tied at 2.
Oh, what a save. What a stop. The original shot from Watson, Cliff that was blocked, and it came right to Spencer. And a diving effort from right to left from Dylan Ferguson to rob Spencer Watson of his second goal of the game with the glove. Just a heck of a save to keep this game tied.
Michael Pellick to take the draw in the right wing circle. In between Cuglietta and Broadhurst. It's won by the Comets. And Broadhurst tries to tie up Siebenaller, but the Comets able to break it out to center. Pochero with speed through the neutral zone. Gains the Fuel line softly into the right wing corner. Vive bumped off the play by Osipov. Squirts over to the far boards where Pochero takes it back for Fort Wayne. Osipov ties him up, and the Fuel able to get it as far as center ice, where they'll be spun back into the Indy zone and sent in behind the net. Osipov settles it down there. Pochero in on the forecheck. Cuglietta takes it through center and can't get through the first wave of the Comets forecheck. That 1-2-2 they have through center, as they really clog the middle of the ice. Pellick gains the Fort Wayne line offside. Cuglietta was a couple strides ahead of the play. So we'll have a whistle with 6:53 to go and a tie hockey game in the second period. Face-off will be outside the Fort Wayne line. Shots are 22-18 in favor of Fort Wayne in this period. Fort Wayne has outshot the Fuel 10-5. Jackson Leaf wins the draw. Murphy D-to-D to Gazzola at his own line. Headbands to Cooper. Up the left wing boards through the neutral zone into the Fuel end. Cooper forces it in behind the net. Zulsdorf wraps it around. Lacroix tips it out to center, but the rolling puck is corralled by Murphy, and he'll wrist it back in. Takes a lively carom off the inboards.
That was a right idea there by Cedric Lacroix. He got his head up before the puck got to him, realized that Gazzola was going to pinch down.
And here's Lacroix across the line, shoots, blocker save Ferguson. Lacroix with a wraparound attempt. Ferguson gets it and covers up for a whistle. Lacroix with two really good chances off of a neutral zone turnover he forced. And Dylan Ferguson equal to the task.
But it's all because of the defensive play that he made along the boards. As I was saying, I mean, he got his head up before the puck came to him, realized that the Fort Wayne defenseman Randy Gazzola was pinching down, and he just angled his stick off of the boards, allowing that puck to just ride around, deflect off of his stick, and then end up in the middle of the ice. And it was just about a foot and a half too far in front of Spencer Watson, who was just steaming out of his own zone. he would have had an opportunity to go in on a breakaway from his own blue line. And then the ensuing play by Cedric Lacroix, and I love the choice to shoot the puck on the 2-on-1. The Fuel leading up to that chance only had 5 shots in the period. Got to start shooting the puck much more if you want to find a way to get a lead. But 2 really nice plays on that last shift from Cedric Lacroix.
Brandon Hawkins wins the puck below the goal line after Fort Wayne and send it into the Fuel zone. The Fuel clear it, and the Komets send it back in. Raskow behind his own net. Advance through the neutral zone looking for Pirog, a little too far for him, but Pirog wins the race to beat out the icing. And he and Boca tie each other up. Puck held in at the point. Pirog and Boca still tying each other up. The gloves come off. Pirog trying to land a few rights. Still trying to land one as Boca's got the head down and the linesmen come in as Boca's in a really vulnerable spot. And those two still trying to get at each other, but the linesmen have them tied up.
Well, you've got 2 unbelievably competitive players going at it, and huge credit to Nick Pirog, who was able to get those feet moving and beat out the icing, and Nick Boca, a guy who always plays with an edge for Fort Wayne, especially when these 2 teams are meeting. And now a little energy in the building here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. We haven't had a ton of it other than 2 goals, as you had some rough housing after the whistle went.
Boca talking to Pirog on the way to the penalty box. We got a timeout at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. 5:46 to go, second period. We're tied at 2. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Upgrade your home decor at Hoosier Home Furnishings. We provide you quality furniture for every room in your home at a price that's right for you. At Hoosier Home Furnishings, we value our customers. We are family owned and operated. Check out our showroom at 1005 East Main Street in Plainfield. Give us a call at 317-778-4128. or visit us at HoosierHomeFurnishings.com. Again, that's 317-778-4128 or HoosierHomeFurnishings.com. Hoosier Home Furnishings, where quality doesn't have to be expensive.
When it comes to Hondas, your Central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic Sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelly Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself, or shop the latest offers at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. What are you waiting for?
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey with Nick Olchek and Andrew Smith.
5:46 to go in the second period. The Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets are tied at 2. And Nick Boca and Nick Pirog will watch the next 5 minutes of this game from their respective penalty boxes. After the second pair of fighting majors this period, it came right after Schneider and Adams-Moisan had been released from theirs. Been a penalty-filled game, and not a lot of power plays. Each team's had 2, but each team with 18 minutes in penalties. We've had a couple of sets of matching roughing minors, and now 2 fights.
It's almost like these 2 teams have played each other a time or 2 before.
Or 19 times or 2 before. Fuel will win the offensive zone draws. We're back to action, and Nick Hutchison with a wraparound. Marcineau scores! Nick Hutchison trying to wrap around as the Fuel won the puck along the wall. Broadhurst sent it low for Hutchison. He wrapped it around, punched it into the crease, and it looks like it's going to be Hutchison's goal, as Marcineau was trying to punch at it as well. But Nick Hutchison credited with the goal, and the Fuel lead at 3-2.
Well, this is what you're going to get from Hutchison. Simplicity. Getting the puck towards the net, and he's able to beat Dylan Ferguson to the post on the wraparound. Really late to react was the Fort Wayne goaltender. There you see Dylan Ferguson. Offensive zone faceoff after the TV timeout. The Fuel are able to gain possession. And again, it's the simplicity. Direct the puck at the net, get it there by any means. You got players there as well. Matt Marcineau there. And
now Hutchison in 5. Dropping the gloves. Hutchison gets in 3 or 4 rights to Vive's back. Now Vive sets himself, and he's trying to get a couple of punches in. Hutchison a couple low. Vive is the much larger guy here. He's trying to get a few in, and the linesman trying to separate him, and finally do. That one developed before the face-off, right after Hutchison scored. And Hutchison is still yelling at Vive on the way to the penalty box. Just threw his glove. And Vive is yelling back across the ice as he's being skated to the dressing room.
Well, Andrew, I think this is the right time to say that escalated pretty quickly.
Yeah.
A goal and then a fight before the next puck is even dropped, as you just had two guys, big guys, going at it. And
now we're going to have a couple more guys, as Pochero was talking with one of the Fuel players and pushing and shoving, and Nolan Boyer is pointing them to the box. And Pochero is likely going to go for Fort Wayne, or is it going to be Petrozelli?
And yeah, I think they're going to send Petrozelli and Matt Morrison to the box as some more matching minors as the Fuel start to fill up the penalty box. 3 guys in the box for Indy. As of right now, 2 for Fort Wayne. But Nick Hutchison in the middle of everything. The goal scored and not even able to finish the analysis on the nice goal that he was able to score before he's dropping the mitts in a heated bout with the massive human in Justin Vive. And this game, which had seen a good amount of penalties up until now in 2 fights, the nastiness has just continued to ramp up. As even after the conclusion of the fight between Vive and Hutchison, you had some jawing and pointing, and I don't think that's the last 2 times those guys are going to be on the ice or see each other for the remainder of this game.
Well, the penalty boxes are full. Marcineau, Hutchison, and Pirog are in for Indy. Petrozelli and Boca are in it for Fort Wayne, and then Vive went to the dressing room. So we had Boca and Pirog at 14-14. Then off the ensuing faceoff, 9 seconds later, Vive and Hutchison go, and then in the ensuing melee, if you will, the milling about at center between the 2 teams, Petrozelli and Marcineau were both sent off. And let's see here. If those are roughing minors, we'll skate 4 aside.
And think 2 of the 3 fights that we've seen have just kind of come out of jawing back and forth, not a direct result of a physical altercation between 2 guys, unlike the Boca and Pirog fight where you got both guys trying to go, one's trying to get the icing and others trying to negate it. And then they had to come in together physically, whereas the Schneider and Adams-Moisan fight, both guys hanging around the net front, jawing back and forth. They dropped the gloves, and then here Hutchison and Justin Vive. So it's the combination of having played each other so much and the desperation that the Indy Fuel are playing with, knowing that their playoff lives are on the line, whereas Fort Wayne, they've already know they've clinched. They're going to the playoffs, and they're trying to play spoiler.
Anthony Nellis went forward off the draw and then just went flying into the corner after the puck. Won it to Cooper, who fired on goal. Christopoulos makes the save. 5:25 to go in period number 2. The Fuel lead 3-2. The latest goal, Nick Hutchison's 5th from Terry Broadhurst and Keone Teixeira at 14:23. And for Hutchison, that's his first goal in 14 games. Broadhurst now with a 2-point night. Teixeira has his first assist in 5. Fuel will win the defensive zone draw and try to headman to Dickinson in the Fort Wayne end. Takes it, bottom of the circle, shoot, sharp angle. Ferguson makes the save. Cuglietta takes the puck. Back diagonal, Teixeira, center point. Wrist one toward the pile, deflected wide. Pellick tried to get it to Dickinson, got tied up in the referee's skates, played into the left wing circle. Raskov, half slapper, blocked by Cooper from the right circle, and then the Fuel tried to play it up to the point. Actually, the Komets ended up clearing it, and it's an icing. With 4:50
YouTube, now, Thunder Buddy 01, they're same toning coastal flood warnings again, 5 exclamation marks, 5/29/21 ES, 4880, 4881, attachment.
The shot from Willie Raskob, denying that puck entry towards the net. A heck of a play by the Fort Wayne rookie.
Komets win the draw in the defensive zone. Oliver Cooper lobs it out to center. Nellis across the fuel line. Working on Osipov, right wing boards. Up to the point for Murphy. Rink wide, Brodeur feeds one wide. Cooper behind the net to Adams Moisan. Working on Osipov, who pokes it free along the right wing boards. Up to the point, Gallipo holds it in. And no, he didn't. Now we've got more pushing and shoving after the whistle. And Adams Moisan's in it, trying to exchange blows with Dmitry Osipov. Certainly they want to get Osipov off the ice. He's been fantastic for the Fuel tonight. And Adams Moisan is jawing at Osipov through the linesman. We'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, well, Nolan Boyer is pointing at Morgan Adams Moisan and Morgan Adams Moisan only. I mean, he was involved in that skirmish for one reason, and that's to try and bait Dmitry Osipov, who is a million times more valuable on the ice than he is in the penalty box. As Adams Moisan was trying to bait him and goad him into a fight. Good for Dmitry Osipov not giving in. And Adams Moisan will head to the penalty box, and you'd have to think there's going to be some sort of roughing call coming to him, and hopefully a power play for the Indy Fuel. But, I mean, this game has just turned nasty really quick. Every whistle, there's something going on. Guys are jawing.
The penalties on Adams Moisan for roughing, and now a misconduct has been given to Adams Moisan.
Well, he opened up the penalty box as soon as Bloyer signaled a roughing call. Morgan Adams Moisan opened the box and was continuously screaming at Nolan Bloyer, voicing his displeasure. And Bloyer just gave him a misconduct, rightfully so.
And so he'll be out for the next 12 minutes of this game as he has to serve the 2 minutes of his minor, and they'll have to send somebody to the penalty box to serve that. And then the 10 of his misconduct as well. And so Brandon Hawkins will serve the minor, and the Fuel will head to the power play with 4:30 to go in the second period. We should have a timeout that hasn't been signaled, although the Fuel are certainly taking it and gathered around. Well, Indy's going to go to the power play. I think we are going to take a timeout here. So 4:30 to go, second period. The Fuel, well, let's just keep it here. I think we got a lot of confusion. Yeah, they're fixing some of the ice as well. So, yeah, timeout has been signaled. 4:30 to go. Well, our referee is signaling for a timeout. I think he wants the ice crew to come out. It is time to take one, and the Fuel are taking a timeout. This should be a TV timeout. We have not taken the second TV timeout.
Yeah.
And the Fuel should not have to use one here.
Right. Well, Nolan Bloyer signaling to the timekeeper's box with both of his hands in a T formation and signaling over to the Fuel. So Doug Christensen electing to use his timeout here. And, I mean, this is an unbelievable opportunity.
I don't think that's the case. I think this is the TV timeout.
Okay.
But he signaled it on the Fuel. Whatever the case, we're going to take a quick break. 4:30 to go, second period. Fuel lead 3-2.
Hi, this is Jeff Wheeler, business manager of IBEW Local 41. I am proud to represent more than 3,000 union electrical workers in central Indiana. From Bankers Life Fieldhouse to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the annual Circle of Lights, we are proud to power your community. IBEW Local 41 is proud of our union membership and our community leadership.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a friendly, relaxing environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
When it comes to Hondas, your Central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelley Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself. Or shop the latest offers at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. What are you waiting for?
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
4:30 to go in the second period. The Indy Fuel leading the Fort Wayne Komets 3-2. Morgan Adams Moisan has a penalty on the board for roughing. Brandon Hawkins will serve it as Adams Moisan was given an extra 10. Right now, though, Fort Wayne only has 3 players on the ice as the Fuel drawing something up, and there's been a little added delay as they're patching up some ice just outside the center ice face-off circle.
And both Doug Christensen and Andy Contoys have been very active with the dry erase boards, and they've taken advantage over the last, they've probably had 4.5 minutes of time to be able to draw up exactly what they want to do and give their top power play guys a rest. So safe to say that this power play is absolutely massive for the Indy Fuel. A 5-on-3 opportunity. Next goal is big, and a great chance here for Indy.
Alan Lasarchik was sent to the box. The Fuel with a 2-minute 5-on-3. Has 2 penalties on the Komets out of that. Puck tied up off of the face-off and finally squirts free to Willie Raskop. Skates in. Slap shot. Save made. Rebound loose in the slot. Siebenauer finds it and clears.
Oh, I like that idea there from Willie Raskop. Think back to the 5-on-3 the Fuel had last night for a full 2 minutes. Not able to really generate a lot of shots, and a great heads-up play there by Raskop just to put his head down and fire it at the net.
Fuel with control as they bring it into the zone. Raskop over to Terry Broadhurst. Works it low to Thomas. Back to Broadhurst. Right circle. Over to Raskop. Left circle. Up to Thomas. High slot. 1:20 to go on the 5-on-3. Broadhurst over to Raskop. And over to Thomas. One-timer on goal. Right into the logo of Dylan Ferguson, who gobbles it up for a whistle. 1:12 to go. The second penalty, by the way, on Fort Wayne was a bench minor on Ben Boudreau, we presume, for disputing the decision. And Lasarchik is serving it.
And a couple of bad penalties. Bench minor, unnecessary penalty from Adams Moisan. And this is, as a power play, this is where you can do a lot of damage. And the Fuel with a great opportunity.
Fuel win the draw. Broadhurst to Raskop. Back to Broadhurst. Right circle. Works it low. Thomas looking for the tip from Lacroix. And Ferguson was able to get it. Down to the left wing circle. Spencer Watson. Up top, Raskop. Right circle, Broadhurst. 50 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Works it low again for Spencer Watson. He'll bring it up top. Around the top, and now we've got a whistle and a penalty. An interference call on the Fuel, and that's one that is a little bit disputed. Terry Broadhurst, we're trying to see on the replay who he interfered with, but he's going to go to the box.
Well, it was a collision with Anthony Nellis, Andrew, and it was a quick look, but Nellis kicks his right skate out and makes contact with Terry Broadhurst and then goes down. It didn't look to me on that quick look that we had that Terry Broadhurst intentionally made any contact with Anthony Nellis. It looked to me like Nellis was the first one to initiate contact. So, from that quick look we only had one replay. Bad call, in my opinion. And that's going to cost the Fuel the rest of the 5-on-3.
It's now a 4-on-3 for 43 seconds, and then Fort Wayne will have a power play for a minute and 17. Cliff Watson into the zone, takes it to goal. Now feeds Pellick up top for Teixeira. Keone, right wing circle, up top, Cliff Watson, back to Keone. One-timer on goal, save made, and the rebound cleared by Murphy. 17 seconds to go in the 4-on-3 for the Fuel. And then Fort Wayne will have an abbreviated power play. Marcineau across the Komets line. Rink-wide feed to Tommy Apap. And it was offside.
And very, very close to too many men. As Matt Marcineau played that puck before Apap was able to clear the ice. I mean, Apap, he had one leg over the boards. Still had 1 foot on the ice when Matt Marcineau, who was the player to replace him on the ice surface, touched that puck. So very, extremely close to a too many men call, and the Fuel dodge a bullet.
Well, now you've got to be careful. Faceoff is outside the Fort Wayne line, but there are going to be 2 Komets coming out of the penalty box, and they're Hawkins and Lasarchik, 2 pretty good offensive players. Osipov controls off the draw, and he'll bring it into the Fort Wayne zone. And Schneider is hanging back. Osipov with the puck across to Schneider. Both Komets are out of the box. Schneider backhand on goal, looking for a tip from Apap. And Ferguson equal to the task. He makes the save. 2:24 to go in the second period. The Fuel lead 3-2, and now Fort Wayne on the power play for 1:11 as the remainder of Terry Broadhurst's interference minor will be served.
Some heads-up recognition there by Jordan Schneider, and you called it, Andrew. Schneider was hanging back in the neutral zone on really his defensive side of the red line to make sure that the 2 guys coming out of the box for Fort Wayne would not get in behind in a 2-on-0 or a breakaway situation. And Jordan Schneider with a great read, realizing Dmitry Osipov didn't have any options, and Schneider shot right into the hole, put his shoulder down, drove wide, and flung that puck towards the net. And a real heads-up play by the rookie, who just continues to impress on every side of the puck.
Fuel win the draw, but clear it back into their own zone. Christopoulos has to leave it for his defense, and does. The Fuel able to find it, and Matt Marcineau clears. 55 seconds to go in Fort Wayne's power play. The Komets are 1 for 2. 2 minutes to go as the Komets bring it into the Fuel zone. Zulsdorf stands up the rush and forces the play offside. 3-2 Fuel, 1:57 to go, second period. Fort Wayne on the power play for the next 44 seconds.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything in this game, haven't we, Andrew? I mean, you've had fights, you've had jawing back and forth, power play goals, skirmishes after the whistle. Some great saves by goaltenders. Think about the unbelievable stop earlier in this period by Dylan Ferguson, robbing Spencer Watson with a glove stop.
Here's Harper bringing it into the zone, taking it to goal, poke checked by Christopoulos as he was trying to get to the net front. Gallipo holds it in left point, wrists one wide, and Pochero holds it in. Far boards as Fort Wayne able to set up the umbrella. They try a jam play, and it's broken up by Indy, but the Komets maintain possession. Marco Waugh over to Pochero, right circle. His wrister is blocked up and out of play with 1:28 to go in the period and 16 seconds on Fort Wayne's power play, and they finally got set up in the zone and got a couple of pretty good looks.
Blocked by the stick of Cedric Lacroix, and I know that this Fuel team very happy to have Cedric back in the lineup after missing a good amount of time with some injuries. And when I think of Cedric Lacroix, I mean, he's a real engine for this team. He's going to go into those dirty areas and pay the price. And another guy who they're really missing is Antoine Waken. I mean, he is the engine of this team, and there really hasn't been a game this season where he hasn't been going. And when the Fuel have been a bit hesitant or apprehensive, he's the type of player that drags you into the fight with his speed and the intensity that he plays with. So certainly good to have Cedric Lacroix back, and hopefully Antoine Waken, a guy who was hurt back on March 31st, battled some injuries, came back, then was hurt again. Hopefully he can come back sooner than later.
Komets control after the Fuel couldn't clear. Gazzola to Hawkins, left circle. Hawkins shoots, save made. Broadhurst out of the box. We're back to 5 aside. Broadhurst pass picked off by Lasarchik over to Murphy. Right circle, couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Turns the forehand, works it low. Lasarchik tries to jam it. Out top for Murphy, takes a slap shot, hit the post. Gazzola fires right into the midsection of Billy Christopoulos. He holds on for a whistle with 51.3 seconds to go. That's the second time Fort Wayne's hit a post in this game. And Christopoulos then able to get the next shot.
Back in the first period, it was Brandon Hawkins on the power play, and this last chance for Matt Murphy as he had Terry Broadhurst skating at full speed out towards him and then went all the way down to his stomach to block the shot. So at least in a situation like that, as a goaltender, You know that if the shot gets through, it's probably going to be up, so you can anticipate that. But it just beat Billy Christopoulos clean to the glove side, and another post for Fort Wayne as they still trail by a goal in this second period.
Fuel unable to clear after winning the draw. And here's Leaf, right circle, turns to the forehand. Back diagonal to Murphy, left point. Surveys, feeds Leaf center point, able to work it low. Harper backing up in the slot. Nice poke check coming back by Jared Thomas, but the Fuel can't get it out. Murphy wrists it in behind the net. Raskov around the far boards. And Kuglietta finally able to force it out to the neutral zone. Pellick gains the red line, but only as far as the Fort Wayne line where the Komets take it back. Stephen Harper at neutralized. 14 seconds to go in the period. Forced back into his own zone by Kuglietta. Kuglietta forces the puck back behind the net, but the Komets take it. Cooper with 4 seconds at his own zone. Tips it forward, and the puck pinballs around as the horn sounds. A wild second period at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Sees the Fuel score twice to take a 3-2 lead over the visiting Fort Wayne Komets through 40 minutes. Shots on goal in the period, 14 for Fort Wayne for a total of 26. 12 for Indy for a total of 25. And a lot of penalty minutes as well. 2 sets of fighting majors, a misconduct. Actually, 3 sets of fighting majors. And the penalty minutes racking up. But the goals as well. The Fuel lead at 3-2 through 2. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll try to make sense of what happened in the last 20 minutes and distill it down for you, and then get you ready for the third period and also bring you the ECHL plays of the week. That all comes up right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Hi, this is Jeff Wheeler, business manager of IBEW Local 41. I am proud to represent more than 3,000 union electrical workers in central Indiana. From Bankers Life Fieldhouse to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the annual Circle of Lights, we are proud to power your community. IBEW Local 41 is proud of our union membership and our community leadership.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a friendly, relaxing environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
When it comes to Hondas, your central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelley Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself. Or shop the latest offers at centralindianahondadealers.com. What are you waiting for?
Hoosier Home Furnishings is your home for quality furniture. Whether you're looking to upgrade your living room, bedroom, dining room, or your home office, we have high-quality furnishings at the right price. Hoosier Home Furnishings is family-owned and operated. Check out our showroom at 1005 East Main Street in Plainfield, or give us a call at 317-778-4128 and visit us at HoosierHomeFurnishings.com. Hoosier Home Furnishings, where quality doesn't have to be expensive.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Second intermission at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Along with Nick Olchek, I'm Andrew Smith. The Indy Fuel leading the Fort Wayne Komets 3-2. Terry Broadhurst, 5th of the year from Thomas and Raskov at 3:54. The first was answered by Brandon Hawkins of Fort Wayne on the power play. His 21st from Siebenauer and Harper at 17:38. That was our scoring in the first. In the second, on a 4-on-4, Spencer Watson scored his 13th of the year from Willie Raskov and Jared Thomas. Watson on a rebound, giving the Fuel a 1-0 lead at 1:03. And then Anthony Nellis off a beautiful feed from Brandon Hawkins scores his 10th of the year. Petrozelli with the second assist ties it at 2 at 8:51 of the second. And then Nick Hutchison on a wraparound at 14:23 of the second period, his 5th of the year from Broadhurst and Teixeira, gives the Fuel a 3-2 lead. So Jared Thomas, Willie Raskov, and Terry Broadhurst all working on 2-point games tonight. Most importantly, the Fuel with a 3-2 lead in a wild period that saw 3 sets of fighting majors, Adams, Moisan, and Schneider early, then Nick Boca and Nick Pirog, and Justin Vive and Nick Hutchison. Those last two coming 9 seconds apart. And then Adams Moisan had a roughing minor, and the Fuel had a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes and couldn't capitalize, and then cut it short with an interference penalty as well, as Adams Moisan was called for roughing as he tried to goad Dmitry Osipov into a fight, and Dmitry did not answer, knowing how valuable he is to the Fuel on the ice, and that was compounded by a bench penalty on the Komets, Ben Boudreau. But no power play goals out of all of that, and a revolving door in the penalty box.
Yep.
And it all worked out to the Fuel leading 3-2 through 2. And now I think for Indy, you want to be disciplined here in the third period, as the temperature in this game has heated up, and you don't want to take any unnecessary penalties, because that's what Fort Wayne is going to try to do, is force you into those so they can get their power play on the ice here, trailing by a goal going into the third.
Well, 12 penalties I counted in that second period, 8 in the first. And you could give credit to the official, Nolan Bloyer, for calling the game as he has, and he hasn't let much go. A couple of things have slipped through the cracks, but, other than that, I think it's been a pretty good officiated game. And, I mean, hey, this is playoff hockey right now. I know these two teams aren't in the same division with how the league was going to be playing this year, with Fort Wayne in the West and the Indy Fuel in the East, but a whole lot going on, especially in that second period, and positives for the Indy Fuel. Great to see Nick Hutchison get on the board, and what that does for players' confidence when you're in and out of the lineup. I've always thought that's one of the toughest things to do in the game of hockey, and it's tough to be a great player because you got to be really, really good every game, and oftentimes you're getting matched up against the other team's best players. But I have such a fond respect for players who are in and out of the lineup. They might not be the most skilled guy ever, or they might be a young guy, as Nick Hutchison is, still trying to find his way, trying to find ways to play in which will make a really tough decision for Doug Christensen to take him out of the lineup. But I think he's played well. He's been involved physically, gets the big goal and a nice wraparound play that beat Dylan Ferguson to the post off of an offensive zone faceoff, where the Fuel were able to gain possession, and then Hutchison able to do his thing. But going into this third period, I think things have to tighten up for the Fuel. You're nursing a 1-goal lead, 0 for 3 on the power play. You had another 2-minute 5-on-3 opportunity on the power play, and then a penalty called on Terry Broadhurst. In my opinion, not a very good call at all. But hey, they don't pay me to be a referee and to wear the stripes. So a lot going on in that second period. But the Fuel were able to get 2 goals. They give up 1, and you're taking a 1-goal lead into the third period. And I would go out on a limb and say arguably this is the biggest period of the season, considering what has gone on in the other scores and other important games here tonight.
Yeah, the Fuel aren't getting any help. We can just say that tonight. The South Carolina Stingrays beat Wheeling 6-2 tonight. Orlando leads Florida 4-3 with 13:49 to go in the third. And Jacksonville and Greenville are tied at 2 midway through the third. Entering the night, and points percentage determines things. Florida and Greenville have already clinched playoff spots. The Fuel could technically catch Greenville if Greenville loses out in regulation and the Fuel win out. But right now it looks like the Fuel, Orlando, South Carolina, and Jacksonville are vying for 2 playoff spots. And the Fuel right now, 74 points. It's a .578 points percentage. They're in third place. They will be in third place regardless of what happens tonight, but they'll feel a lot more comfortable if they get 2 points out of this game and up that points percentage a little bit, because Orlando and South Carolina both charging. South Carolina with a win tonight now at 75 points, and I'll have to get out the abacus to figure out the points percentage. But they win, so they now are a point ahead of the Fuel, although they played 3 more games, so their points percentage is slightly less than Indy's right now. But they have 3 games left, 1 against Wheeling, 1 against Orlando, 1 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is currently in 6th place. They've got a 537 points percentage. They have 3 games left, and they play, actually they've got 4 games left. They play 2 games against Orlando, 1 against Greenville, and 1 against South Carolina. And Orlando has 5 games left after tonight. They are currently in 4th place. We're entered the night in 4th place, tied with South Carolina. Right now, they temporarily dropped to 5th with a 553 points percentage. They have 5 games, as we mentioned, after tonight. They play Florida a couple of more times. They play Jacksonville twice, and they also play the South Carolina Stingrays. So lots of head-to-head matchups between the teams that are chasing the Fuel. And needless to say, this third period really, really important for Indy as the Fuel lead the Komets 3-2 going into that final period. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the ECHL Plays of the Week right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, after tomorrow's big Indy 500, more hockey action at Indiana Farmers Coliseum on Monday. It's Memorial Day, so it's also Military Night presented by T-Mobile. The Fuel salute to service men and women who keep us safe every single day. And throughout the night, there'll be tributes made to military personnel for serving our country and dedicating their lives to fighting for our freedom. Make sure you get here for Monday night's very special Military Night. Your tickets are available now at IndyFuelHockey.com. Again, that's IndyFuelHockey.com. We'll see you Monday at 7:05 against the Fort Wayne Komets. #No breaks. Back to the action with Nick Goldcheck and Andrew Smith with Indy Fuel Hockey.
From across America's premier AA hockey league, this is the ECHL Plays of the Week.
High slap shot off the glove and in. Now toward the net, he scores! Off the blue line, shot scores! Rodney scores! Rewrite the record book. It's a hat trick. Skates it over the line. Deep shoots. Scores! In the slot. Shot. Save. Game is over.
Hello, hockey fans. Welcome to another edition of the ECHL Plays of the Week. I'm Mike Kelly of the Florida Everblades, and we begin this week in the Western Conference. Wichita took on the Fort Wayne Komets in a battle for first place last weekend. The Thunder took 2 of 3, thanks in part to rookie forward Braden Watts. He finished with 4 points in 3 games, including this goal, giving the Thunder a 3-0 lead on Sunday.
Graves will carry up the ice, leaves it here for Watts. He's got a man down the slot. Johnson, Watts in, backhand, he scores! Braden Watts with a backhand, beating Baydoun to the glove side.
The call from Jason Mells on the Sinbin app and the Wichita Thunder radio network. In the Eastern Conference, Florida remained on top due to a come-from-behind victory over Jacksonville on Friday. Forward Michael Hunterbrinker sparked the comeback for the Everblades, notching his career-high 24th goal of the year.
At center ice, Sanford trying to get started. Now Hunterbrinker is there, swooping in, driving the net. Scores! A beautiful goal by Michael Hunterbrinker, and it's a 2-2 tie.
That was yours truly, Mike Kelly, on the Everblades Broadcast Network. South Carolina remains in a battle for a playoff spot. Forward Dan DeSalvo scored his 3rd shorthanded goal of the season as the Stingrays rallied with a 5-4 comeback victory Saturday night in Orlando. Here's the call of the individual effort by the voice of the Rays, Jared Shafrin.
Now it's out to center for Novak, splits the middle for a chance. DeSalvo a shot, he scores! Dan DeSalvo, a shorthanded goal, ties the game for South Carolina.
On Saturday, the Greenville Swamp Rabbits topped the Wheeling Nailers in overtime, 4-3. Late in the second period, Frank Hora gave Greenville the lead.
Waiting is Meyer. He finds Brownlee beneath the line. Right wing.
Hora scores! Frankie Hora with the bomb from the right circle. 7:20 left in the second. The Bigs are back in front. It's a 3-2 game.
That was Matt Trust on the Greenville Swamp Rabbits Broadcast Network. The Wheeling Nailers earned their 999th all-time win on Sunday as they defeated the Greenville Swamp Rabbits 4-2. Cody Sylvester had a strong weekend, tallying goals in back-to-back games. DJ Avasella with the call on the Nailers Broadcast Network.
Looking for the feed as Bradley gets tied up with one. Jostling for Sylvester. Busting in. He scores! Cody Sylvester. Same side as last night. Same shot, everything, right side snipe.
It's another busy slate of games in the Premier AA Hockey League this week, highlighted by all 14 teams in action both Friday and Saturday. I'm Mike Kelly of the Florida Everblades. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the ECHL Plays of the Week.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 33rd season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors.
Scanner 80. Follow.
Signage provider. Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier. Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier. Flow Sports, the exclusive streaming provider of the ECHL. Geico, official auto insurance of the ECHL. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Handbid, the official mobile auction app. Honigs, the official partner of the ECHL officiating team. Howie's Hockey Tape, official hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, official puck provider. Migray Group, your source for game-worn jerseys. Stagefront, preferred resale partner of the ECHL. Ticket Galaxy, preferred ticket marketplace of the ECHL. And Warrior, official on-ice equipment provider of the ECHL. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
COVID-19 affects all of us. It cut the 1920
9,810.
It delayed the 2021 season until December. And now, we have hockey. But we need you to do your part. When you come to Indiana Farmers Coliseum, please wear your mask and socially distance. It's not only the law and a recommendation from the Marion County Health Department, but it's a good idea for you and your fellow Hoosiers. Please get your tickets. Come out for a fun night of hockey. Go to IndyFuelHockey.com to find out what the Fuel are doing to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We all want to see a full season of hockey at Indiana Farmers Coliseum. So please, do your part.
Wednesday, the Indy Fuel wrap up the regular season home schedule and prep for the playoffs. The Fuel hosts the Kansas City Mavericks at 7, but get there early because it's all-you-can-eat night. Yeah, you heard correctly. All-you-can-eat night means unlimited hot dogs, hamburgers, and popcorn all night. And with the Fuel headed to the playoffs, everyone is ready to celebrate. Let's go Fuel! Wednesday is also Player Appreciation Night. Get your tickets now. IndyFuelHockey.com. That's IndyFuelHockey.com. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Getting ready for the third period at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. The Indy Fuel lead the Fort Wayne Komets 3-2 along with Nick Holchek. I am Andrew Smith, and Indy with goals from Terry Broadhurst, Spencer Watson, and Nick Hutchison. Fort Wayne with tallies from Brandon Hawkins on the power play and Anthony Nellis have the Komets on the board. And each time Indy has scored, Fort Wayne has answered. One thing we talked about last night, closing out games is a key for this Fuel team, and something you'd like to see an opportunity here to close out a game, and I think a key is going to be the next goal. And it'd be certainly good for the Fuel, obviously, to get that next goal and give themselves a little bit of a cushion. That's one thing they've not been able to do is they've scored, they've taken 3 different leads in this game, but not been able to get that next goal after the first 2.
Well, this is the type of game where this is the reason why you got a guy like Terry Broadhurst, a guy who's been around a long time, and you have veterans on this team that have been around the block. They know how much these types of games mean for teams in their season and where you're trying to get to. You know where you are, and nothing's guaranteed. When talking about the playoffs and the Fuel, certainly this is a huge game for them. But, this is where you got to lean on your veterans. Terry Broadhurst, Matt Morrison, who's been around, Cliff Watson, Dmitry Osipov. I'd expect a big period as well from Billy Christopoulos, who has had a strong game. He's had to make some big saves, and when called upon, has done just that. So, for those watching on Flow Hockey, you're seeing all the highlights. Nick Hutchison with a huge goal there in his first game in a while. Coming back into the lineup as a guy who is in and out of the lineup. When you can come back and produce right away, that doesn't just do a lot for you as a player confidence-wise. but it re-energizes and injects a whole lot of energy into the team because they know how much it means for you to be playing, considering you are a player who is not an everyday or every game type of player. So good to see Hutchinson getting on the board. He's going to start the period on this top line. He's got a fight to his name as well, and I think that this is going to be the biggest period in a long time for the Fuel. They can close out and get a win. It's going to do them a lot of good.
The puck is down. The Fuel moving from right to left as you picture this rink in your mind's eye for the third period. Indy wins the draw. Cliff Watson, Terry Broadhurst tried to work it rink wide through the neutral zone. Broken up by Jackson Leaf. And Broadhurst breaks it up at neutral ice, but had to wait for Marcineau to get onside. The Fuel dump it in. Komets work it. Siebenauer in his own zone. Feed through the neutral zone looking for Petrozelli, and it ends up being on goal, so no icing as Christopoulos sticks it aside. And the Fuel can't clear. Gallipo holds it in at the point. Wrist one through traffic, and Christopoulos with a positional save makes it 19:22 to go, third period. The Fuel lead 3-2.
Well, there's more than just one way to watch today's event. Flow Hockey, it's got you covered. Go to the flowhockey.tv. You can download the Flow Sports app on Roku, Apple TV 4, and Amazon Fire TV, so no shortage of options to watch Flow Hockey. You can also download the Flow Sports app to your iOS and Android devices to catch all of the action live, as well as the archived footage.
Well, so not so good news from Orlando. Matthew Spencer has scored to put the Solar Bears up 5-3 over Florida, so the Fuel not getting any help tonight. And so they'll have to get 2 points out of this one to keep pace with the two teams that are trying to nip at their heels in the standings. The Fuel win the draw, clear it all the way down, and on goal, and Dylan Ferguson has to cover it up. And then we have some discussion after the play as the net gets knocked off the moorings after the whistle.
Well, the Fuel are in a position where if you break it down and describe it in the simplest of terms, the fate of their playoff hopes, it's in their hands. They're in a playoff spot right now. Easier said than done, yes, but you're in control of if you win out or if you win 2 of the next 5 or 3 of the next 5, will punch your ticket to the playoffs. It's not like you're out of the playoffs and you're looking for help and hope that other teams are going to lose or win, and then hopefully you sneak in. The Fuel are in a playoff position right now, so it just comes down to them to find a way to get better form, play their game, and understand that if you win, you're going to make the playoffs.
Komets win the draw. Play it back to the Fuel line. Nick Pirog comes back to take the puck, and then as Indy tries to work it through the neutral zone, it gets deflected into the Fort Wayne bench. So we have 19:01 to go in the third period. The Fuel leading 3-2. Each team with a goal in the first. Spencer Watson and Nick Hutchison with second period goals, sandwiched around one by Anthony Nellis of Fort Wayne. Faceoff will be outside the Komets line, and it's won by Fort Wayne. As Gazzola has it ahead to Murphy, tries to headman to Vive, who is back after serving his fighting major. Christopoulos leaves it for his defense. Dmitry Osipov headmans to Lacroix, tips it into the neutral zone where Gazzola stops it. Zach Pochero sends it to the Fuel line. Harper, rink wide through the neutral zone to Murphy. Stick handles pass to D, and the puck is punched out to neutral ice.
That was a great step up by Dmitry Osipov. He realized Murphy was trying to make a move. I mean, really didn't have any help, so Dmitry Osipov steps up, physical play, and knocks the puck into the neutral zone. Outstanding defensive play at his own blue line.
Jared Thomas into the Fort Wayne zone. Left circle shoots. Pad save made by Ferguson. Thomas wraps it through both corners. Cuglietta pinches down, but the Komets able to rake it out to center. Teixeira intercepts and fires it back in. Takes a crazy carom, but the Fuel were changing. Nobody was home as Ferguson had vacated the net. And the Komets iced the puck. It took a wild bounce off the stanchion right into the slot. And Ferguson had vacated the net. There was nobody there, but the Fuel were changing and nobody in to hop on that loose puck.
We've seen that so many times this year, Andrew, and you'd think by now goaltenders would realize that. You're better off to just stay in your net. Because if that puck careens to the middle of the ice and there's an opponent there, it's going to be a wide open net. The stanchions, the boards, very active here at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, and they without question, don't do or don't give any help to goaltenders. So hopefully, at least for Dylan Ferguson's own well-being, that's got to be a lesson learned, that when the puck's dumped in around the boards, especially around the glass, you're better off to just stay home and not have to worry about anything else.
Willie Raskov tries to head man to Pelech, who's able to beat out the icing to Cuglietta. Right wing boards tried to center for Dickinson, broken up by the Komets. They want transition through the neutral zone. Waugh will flip it in to the left wing corner of the Fuel end for Nellis. Zulsdorf cancels him out. Dickinson takes the puck, but can't get it through Waugh, who rakes it back into the right wing corner in the Fuel zone. Teixeira chips it off the glass and out and all the way down. This will be an icing with 17-16 to go in the third period. The Fuel leading 3-2. And back to the point about the boards, not only are they lively here, there is a door in each of the four corners. And, you know, you've played the game where there's doors. Sometimes they're not always completely flush, and so a puck that's rimmed around may hit a part of that door where it's not flush and kick right back out and catch a goaltender off guard.
Well, sometimes the doors and the stanchions aren't exactly flush together, and there are those sometimes the doors that you're referring to are kind of left ajar where, you know, they're locked, they're in place, but they're just protruding from where the glass is, and I think that if you're a Fuel player, you can use that to your advantage, both for the players. When you dump the puck around the glass, the guy who is, you know, maybe the F3 or the third forward, you kind of know, I'm going to stay in the middle of the ice in case the puck bounces to me. I'm going to have a wide open net. But I think even more importantly for the Fuel goaltenders, knowing that if it's around the boards, different story. I can go back and get it. Not going to be too many crazy bounces, but if it's in the glass, 1,000% you're better off to just stay home, especially in a game like this where the next goal is absolutely massive.
Petrozelli tries to put it through the slot after Fort Wayne won a defense or an offensive zone draw. The Fuel trying to get it out and do. Osipov headmans to Marcineau across the Fort Wayne line. Sidesteps a check into the left wing corner. Takes Petrozelli behind the net. Marcineau leaves it for Hutchison. Tries to stuff it again. Got it into the crease and then missed high. Cliff Watson pinches down to try to keep the play alive, but the Komets able to send it back to the Fuel line.
That was the third time in this game where Nick Hutchison has taken the puck from down low right to the net. In the first period, he went wide, took it to the net. On the goal, he scored on the wraparound, and then that effort there. Love the simplicity from Nick Hutchison. Thought he's had an outstanding game.
Pachero tries to take it into the slot. Zulsdorf breaks it up and can't get it out. Held in at the point. Gazzola, right point, wristed into the right wing corner. And now here's Cooper all alone at the bottom of the right wing circle, and Christopoulos aggressively comes out and makes a positional save. Schneider bunts it ahead to Zulsdorf. Ahead, and the Fuel punch it out to center. I think a hand pass is going to be called because the Fuel punched the puck out, but even though the hand pass initiated in the defensive zone, it carried out to the neutral zone, and because of that, it is a hand pass. You can hand pass in your defensive zone, but once the puck crosses a line, it's a violation, so the faceoff back in the Fuel end.
It's just moments prior to that, an unbelievable opportunity for Oliver Cooper of Fort Wayne. He was all alone, partial breakaway on Billy Christopoulos. The reason is because he had both Jordan Schneider and Tommy Apap leave the net front, go to the corner where Ryan Zulsdorf was, and you got both your defensemen and a center iceman down there. I mean, that just spells out trouble. Big save from Christopoulos, and the Fuel dodge a big-time bullet.
Still 3-2 Indy leads. Pachero gains the zone across to Gazzola, puts it back out in front on a backdoor play, and Harper couldn't pull it inside the post. Dickinson forces the puck back out to center. It's been all Fort Wayne here the last couple of minutes. They re-enter the zone. Cooper tried to play it to the middle, but Willie Raskov broke it up and forced it back out to neutral ice. The Komets tag up, bring it back in. Harper rubbed into the boards. Pelech takes the puck. Tries to headman to Spencer Watson, a little too far for him. Lasarchik takes the puck behind his own net. 15-17 to go, third period. Indy leading 3-2. Gazzola has a poked off of his stick by Lacroix, and Ferguson had to make an emergency save, and does with 15-11 to go, as Gazzola was just breaking it out and skating through his own defensive slot, and Lacroix with a heads-up play just poked it off of his stick on goal, and Ferguson had to dive out to cover that.
It's amazing what you can make happen on the forecheck when you are putting pressure on the opponent, and that came off the heels of a real nice forecheck by Spencer Watson, who got his feet moving, put Alan Lasarchik under a lot of pressure, and then he kind of handed his issue off to Gazzola, and a great stick by Cedric Lacroix resulted in what you would probably call a poke-on goal as opposed to a shot on the net. But a nice play nonetheless, and the Fuel out of it at least get an offensive zone draw.
Fort Wayne wins the draw, brings it as far as center, where Cliff Watson intercepts and sends it back in. Below the goal line, Spencer Watson fighting for the puck, but Nellis takes it in the far corner. Outlets to Lasarchik, and now the Komets want transition. Boca across the line with speed. Sends it in softly below the goal line, goes after it himself. Lasarchik into the slot looking for Nellis, who is all alone. Pass didn't connect. 2-on-1 for Indy. Thomas across the line. Left circle, curl, drag, fire, save made Ferguson. And now the net's off its moorings after Ferguson had cleared the rebounds. And that's something we talked about in the pregame. Fort Wayne's defensemen are going to be active. You got Nick Boca joining the rush. Nothing happens on that play, and now Indy with an odd man rush the other way.
And you have to give credit to Nick Boca. He did a really nice job of keeping his legs churning, and he came all the way back to take away that backdoor pass from Thomas to Spencer Watson. And he had to come back a long way after he was well up the ice and in the Indy Fuel zone. And Jared Thomas, heads up play by him. He realized that Boca was back to take away that backdoor pass to Spencer Watson. And he curled, he dragged, he toe dragged it into his body and put that shot right into the crest of the jersey of Dylan Ferguson. With a heads-up play, and that was a result of a really close call for Anthony Nellis. I mean, that puck was inches away from his stick on the opportunity in the Indy Fuel zone.
Lasarchik sends it into the Fuel zone after Fort Wayne wins a defensive zone draw. Schneider is able to outlet to Zulsdorf right before taking a hit. Marcineau across the Fort Wayne line up the right wing boards. Right hash tried to backhand it to the point, but nobody was home. Schneider will track it down into zone line. 14-13 to go third period. The Fuel lead 3-2. Hutchison tips it into the Fort Wayne end. He'll go off for a change as the Komets collect the puck. Brandon Hawkins, who has a goal and an assist tonight. Stick handling through center. Across the Fuel line, offside. We've got a whistle and a stoppage with 13:59 to go in the third period. The Fuel leading Fort Wayne 3-2. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Body and Soul Massage Therapy is committed to providing the Indianapolis area with premier personalized massage therapy services in a friendly, relaxing environment. Adding a regular sports massage schedule to your training routine will help you train harder, perform better, recover faster, and reach your goals more quickly. Body and Soul is the official massage therapist of the Indy Fuel. Contact Body and Soul Massage Therapy at bodysoul.massagetherapy.com or call us at 317-992-2976.
When it comes to Hondas, your Central Indiana Honda dealers have plenty to choose from. The fan favorite CR-V, the sleek and stylish Civic sedan, the extra efficient Insight Hybrid, Kelly Blue Book award-winning stars, all built with hometown pride and made right here in Indiana. Test drive a new Honda today and experience these favorites for yourself. Or shop the latest offers at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. What are you waiting for?
Back to Indy Fuel Hockey with Nick Olchek and Andrew Smith.
13:59 to go third period. The Fuel leading the Komets 3-2. We return to action. Shots are 30 apiece. 5-4 in favor of Indy this period. All the scoring has taken place in the first two. Keone Teixeira controls as the Fuel win the draw at their own line. Dickinson will wrap it through both corners. Indy was offside, so they have to tag up. They do, but that allows Fort Wayne a free exit of their own zone. Hawkins, serpentine route, stick handles through center, takes a high shot from the neutral zone. Christopoulos has to glove it and hold on for a whistle as Hawkins came in to make sure that he couldn't get anything going. And now Tommy Apap trying to stir something up with Brandon Hawkins. And certainly, if you could get Hawkins off the ice for a couple of minutes, that's a trade you'd take if you're the Fuel. But cooler heads prevail. Hawkins, Leaf, and Petrozelli is Fort Wayne's line. Doug Christensen counters with Marcineau, Dickinson, and Pirog. 13:39 to go, third period. The Fuel leading Fort Wayne 3-2. Second of 3 this week and 20th of 21 this season between these two teams. Siebenauer with a wrister wide from the right point after Fort Wayne won the draw. Petrozelli retrieves the puck. Left circle. Drops it. And here's a centering feed. Actually a shot from a sharp angle on goal. Christopoulos with the save on Gallipo. Dickinson through center for the Fuel. Centers into the slot. Marcineau back diagonal looking to the point. Nobody was home. Jackson Leaf brings it through neutral ice for Fort Wayne. But Keone Teixeira, a good back check. Poke checks him. Cliff Watson tries to feed it ahead to Marcineau, but it's broken up by Fort Wayne and shoveled back into the Fuel zone. Christopoulos will leave it for Dickinson. He'll wind up the breakout to Cliff Watson. That man's through the neutral zone looking for APAP, broken up by Gazzola, and Cliff Watson again settles it down through center. APAP punches it over to the far boards, backhands it through neutral ice, and it comes to Pellet. He'll wrist it into the left wing corner in the Fort Wayne end. Cuglietta gets there first, working with APAP. Puck jammed into the right wing corner. APAP battling for it, but it's played along the wall to Vive for Fort Wayne. He's able to punch it off the boards out to center. Puck pinballing around, collected by Fort Wayne. Stephen Harper gains the Fuel line offside. Cliff Watson did a good job of standing up Harper, which fouled up the timing on the play and forced the play offside.
And it is all about timing. You don't want to go too soon. You don't want to go too late because you're going to get beat on either extreme. You hit the nail on the head there, Andrew. Just a heads-up play by the captain. One of the many reasons why he is the captain of this Indy Fuel team. I think he's had two very strong games this weekend, has Cliff Watson.
Fuel win the draw at their own line. Zulsdorf around to Schneider. He tried to bank one off the boards, but Jared Thomas beats out the icing. Sends it in front. Lacroix fires from the doorstep. And Ferguson makes the save and holds on for a whistle. What a play by the Fuel and Lacroix. 10-bell chance, but Ferguson with the save.
Oh, this play is all about the sweat. You beat out the icing, you work hard, and then I think Cedric Lacroix, I don't think he was expecting the puck to come to him that quickly. He had his head up. He noticed and he saw that Jared Thomas was going to get to that puck, and just didn't look like Lacroix got a whole heck of a lot on that shot. And he put it right in the stomach of Ferguson. And a grade A opportunity for the Fuel goes by the wayside as Ferguson was there to make a positional save. And that looked like it was, at least looking at the score sheet, 8th shot of the game for Cedric Lacroix, who has just been doing a lot of good things in the offensive zone.
Another offensive zone draw coming for the Fuel. Thomas, Spencer, Watson, and Lacroix, the forward line. Thomas wins the draw. Back to Schneider. Wrist one goalward. Wide. Puck pinballing around in the slot, but it's collected by Fort Wayne. Nellis through center. Pass ahead for Lasarchik into the right wing corner. He and Zulsdorf go in below the goal line together, and the Fuel take the puck. Skied out to center where Brodeur settles it down for the Komets. Spencer Watson forces him to feed it across to Boca. Boca through center. Headmans the Fuel line to Marco Waugh. He'll backhand it in behind the net. Zulsdorf gets to it, stops the puck, and then Nellis tries to force it free into the far corner. Does Lasarchik. Waugh all alone shoots, and Christopoulos with an aggressive save as Waugh was all alone below the hash marks. Lasarchik with it, right wing corner, working on Zulsdorf. Able to spin off of a check. Lasarchik takes it into the slot, sweeps one just wide. Schneider takes the puck for the Fuel. Penalty coming on Indy.
A couple of huge defensive zone breakdowns for the Fuel, leading to the Marco Waugh chance. A mix-up on who has who. And then it's just a scramble from there. And how about the stop from Billy Christopoulos? That is a huge, huge save to keep the Fuel in the lead. And then as a result of the scramble and the mad chaos because of the turnovers and the breakdowns defensively, the Fuel have to take a penalty to try and get out of their zone. So Cedric Lacroix to the box, and a really big penalty kill coming here for the Indy Fuel.
Fort Wayne's 1 for 3 on the power play. They have the number 1 power play in the league, and they win the initial draw. And we've got a Fuel player, Marcineau, without a stick. Here's a shot. Fortunately for the Fuel, deflected up and out of play because they were playing with essentially 3 penalty killers as Marcineau was down, and I think either he or Dickinson were trying to find their stick. So Lacroix's in the box for the next minute 53. Leaf against Marcineau on the draw. And the puck tied up in the circle. Won by the Fuel, but not controlled. It squirts toward Christopoulos' crease, and he covers it up to get another whistle with 1:49 to go on the penalty kill. Lacroix's in the box for interference for that length of time. Matt Marcineau, Jackson Leaf on the draw again. Third time in 11 seconds. And this time, Leaf is tossed out for a false start, so Hawkins will take the draw. Massive penalty kill for the Fuel, who lead 3-2 with 11:09 to go in the game. Komets win it. Actually, Marcineau forced it forward and out of the zone. That was a heads-up play by Marcineau to punch it to an open wing. Gazzola will take it behind his own net to start the breakout. 10:57 to go, third period. Softly through center to Petrozelli. Now Pochera will backhand it into the Fuel end. Osipov gets to it, wraps it around, but Hawkins stops it along the far boards. Petrozelli left corner. Up to Gazzola, left point, walking the line. Gazzola to Hawkins, left circle, back up top. Gazzola, wrister through traffic, wide. Cliff Watson takes the puck, and he is tripped up, no call. And the Fuel clear. The crowd is a bit apoplectic, although it kind of looked like Watson just kind of got sent off balance and maybe did not merit a penalty.
I would agree. I think it was more so him trying to get out of the way of the stick, tripping over the stick, as opposed to the Fort Wayne player actually using his stick to trip up Cliff Watson. So a good no call by Nolan Bloyer, who's in a great position. I mean, he was right there, 5 feet away from where it happened as Cliff Watson was trying to peel that puck off away from the boards as you had a Comet sealing the boards. And it was a good little slip play for Cliff Watson, and he went down to the ice. But as I had said, a good no call on a close play in which the fans were not overly happy, but I think if they got another look at it, they would probably agree with you and I.
Fort Wayne brought the puck in offside, and then the Fuel won the draw. Schneider clears. 40 seconds to go on the Komets' power play. Fuel lead at 3-2 halfway through the third. Nellis across the Fuel line. Drops it into the high slot. Waugh to Adams Moisan. Center point now. Feet ahead for Waugh. Doesn't connect. Teixeira rims it around the boards and out to center. Gallipo stops it at neutral ice. Fort Wayne's players will tag up and they'll re-enter. Dickinson tries to break up a lateral pass, but it comes to Waugh along the near boards for the Komets. To the right hash. Waugh surveying the penalty-killing box with 13 to go on the Komets' power play. Works it low for Adams Moisan. Teixeira ties him up, and that allows Dickinson to take the puck and clear. And we have a whistle and a penalty coming on the Komets.
Yeah, it's going to be Adams Moisan slashing the call. He slashes the stick right out of the hands of Jordan Schneider, who made a great play to gain body positioning, get control of the puck, and just create just a little bit of separation between himself and Morgan Adams Moisan. Anytime you knock the stick out of the hands of another player with your stick, you're going to be heading to the box. And another not very good penalty from the Fort Wayne forward. And the Indy Fuel, in 2 seconds, will be heading to a really large power play and an opportunity to double their lead.
3-2 Indy. The penalty, Adams Moisan for slashing at 10:36. Lacroix will exit the box in 2 seconds. Marcineau to take the draw. He's out there with Thomas, Cliff Watson, and Raskop.
And you'd like to think Cedric Lacroix, nobody standing up on the Indy Fuel bench trying to look to maybe replace him. So Lacroix got to go right to the ice and go right to the net front.
Fuel win the draw. Cliff Watson left point. Sends it along the boards to Marcineau. Back to Cliff Watson. Willie Raskop right point. Back to Cliff Watson left point. He and Raskop play pitch and catch. Work it low to Thomas. Back up top to Raskop. To Thomas, right half wall. Back diagonal, Cliff Watson. Into the left circle, Marcineau. Back up top. Cliff Watson shoots. Hits the crossbar. Rebound loose in the slot. And the Komets find it and clear. Tremendous chance for the Fuel, but they just couldn't pull it under the bar.
I have no idea how that puck didn't find its way to the back of the net. Hit the post. Good shot from Cliff Watson. The screen from Cedric Lacroix. Tough to see if he could get a stick on it or not. And the diving effort from Dylan Ferguson with some help from his defenseman. A great chance, but not able to convert.
Fuel on the breakout, unable to get it into the Fort Wayne zone, so the Komets clear. A minute to go in Indy's fifth power play of the night. The Fuel are 0 for 4. Jared Thomas across the Fort Wayne line. Into the right wing circle, along the boards. Backhands it in behind the net, but it's picked off by Siebenauer and cleared all the way down. Christopoulos will stop it. Teixeira takes it behind his own net. Petrozelli flushes him out as Teixeira breaks it out to Broadhurst through center. Terry Broadhurst across the Fort Wayne line. Again loses the puck to Siebenauer as the Fuel unable to get much happening on the zone entries. Teixeira bunts it forward through the neutral zone, but it comes back to him. 27 seconds to go on the power play. Broadhurst, rink-wide pass to Spencer Watson. Gets past a defender. Watson, right wing circle, forced to curl back with two Komets coming after him. Forces the puck free. Siebenauer through center. Slowly brings it to the Fuel line and sends it in. 10 seconds to go. Not much happening on this Fuel power play. Cliff Watson behind his own net with 6 in the power play. Feeds Teixeira. Now Cliff Watson will bring it up. Rink-wide pass. Cuglietta couldn't handle it cleanly. And the Komets have Adams Moisan out of the box, hopping on a puck, right circle, rising shot, misses the top corner. Fuel can't clear. Leaf holds it in at the point, across to Gazzola. Rister, shot pass, save made. Christopoulos, rebound put just wide as they were looking for the backdoor feed. Near miss for Fort Wayne. Leaf wins the puck along the far boards. Up to Brodeur, left point, raising shot high, and the rebound caroms out to center. Breathe a little sigh of relief. Whenever you turn the puck over like that in your own zone, it can lead to some pretty anxious moments. The Fuel force a turnover at center. Pirog cross corner dump looking for Cuglietta. Right wing corner in the Fort Wayne end. Back to Pirog, right circle. He and Cuglietta trying to corral a bouncing puck. They can't. It comes out to neutral ice. 6.5 to go. Fuel lead 3-2. Zulsdorf will wrap it in through both corners. Gallipo tries to punch it forward, but it's collected by Fort Wayne. Brandon Hawkins across the Fuel line with time and space. Wrists one on goal. Stick save Christopoulos. Lasarchik in the far corner. Loses it to Dickinson. Two players battling for the puck. The Komets win it. Gallipo across to Gazzola. Right point. Rister deflected on goal. Rebound put just wide. Hawkins had it open side, but couldn't get it on frame. Harper with a wraparound chance. Shut down by Christopoulos. Rebound loose. Hawkins takes it behind the net. Tries to put it out in front. Gallipo left point to Lasarchik. Slap shot, score. You just felt that one coming. Fort Wayne had been coming in waves since the power play ended, and the Fuel's power play really hadn't been doing much. And you just felt it coming, and Lasarchik just hammers one home from the top of the right wing circle, and we're tied up at 3.
And it's going to be Brandon Hawkins with another assist, as the Fort Wayne Komets are able to work the puck away from the chaos that was happening in front of Billy Christopoulos to try and look for another shot, as Gallipo just puts it on a tee for Alan Lasarchuk, who's a forward who ended up in a defenseman position up near the blue line, just kind of removed himself from where all the bodies were, opened himself up, and the left-handed shot from the middle of the ice lets go a booming shot from the point, and that beats Billy Christopoulos, who just came off the sequence of making 5 or 6 really great saves. Beats him high to the blocker side, and we got a tied game late in the third again.
Nellis across the line, shot blocked. Rebound loose in the high slot, cleared out to center. Hutchison punches it into the Fort Wayne zone. Hutchison, right wing circle, tries to curl to the middle, shoots, blocked wide. Marcineau fighting for the puck below the goal line, but Siebenauer takes it. 5:25 to go, we're tied at 3. As Waugh plays it into the right wing corner. Christopoulos will feed Teixeira below his own goal line. Outlets to Terry Broadhurst. He'll bring it through the neutral zone with 5:12 left, dumps it into the Fort Wayne zone. The Fuel will go for a change. Indy has had 3 different leads in this game, and Fort Wayne has answered each one. Jackson Leaf into the Fuel zone. Christopoulos across to Osipov, and Adams Moisan holds it in at the point. And behind the net, Cliff Watson. Outlets to Lacroix. Across the center red line, dumps it in on Ferguson. He'll have to cover up. Offensive zone draw coming for Indy. 4:45 to go in the game. The Fuel and Komets tied at 3. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
This is Dr. Ram Uletti, Chief Physician Executive at Community Health Network. I know that for a lot of you, COVID-19 has changed your day-to-day lives in some pretty dramatic ways. But as things are progressing, there's one thing we sincerely hope you'll continue to do just as before, and that's to seek medical care when you need it. So please, focus on getting the care you need, and we'll focus on keeping you safe while you do.
There's no safer place to be. Learn more at ecommunity.com.
Stand by.
Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Hi, this is Jeff Wheeler, Business Manager of IBEW Local 41. I am proud to represent more than 3,000 union electrical workers in central Indiana. From Bankers Life Fieldhouse to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the annual Circle of Lights, we are proud to power your community. IBEW Local 41 is proud of our union membership and our community leadership.
Back to the action with Nick Goldcheck and Andrew Smith with Indy Fuel Hockey.
4:45 to go in the third period. The Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets tied at 3. Indy needing a win to keep distance between themselves and Orlando and South Carolina. Both of those teams are tied for fourth. Both won tonight, so they now both have a .559 winning percentage. The Fuel currently at .578. And so a win would allow them to kind of keep some distance, move them up to .584. And right now tied at 3, and the Fuel have scored 3 times to take a lead. Fort Wayne has answered each one.
And they find themselves pretty much in the exact same position that they were in last night. You're carrying a lead halfway over into the third period, and last night Fort Wayne scored a goal about 13 and a half minutes into the period. Tonight it's a little over 14 minutes in, where they're able to tie the game in the third period. Absolutely gut check time right now for the Indy Fuel.
Puck in the Fort Wayne end as we're back to action. Boca sends it all the way down and ices it. So an offensive zone draw coming for the Fuel with 4:24 to go in the third. Shots are 37-32 in favor of Fort Wayne. 11-7 this period, and they have 7 of the last 9 shots in this game, and 1 of those 7 has gone in. Off the stick of Alan Lasarchik. That was his 9th of the year from Gallipo and Hawkins. Tying this game up at 14:08. Hawkins working on a 3-point game. Fuel control off the draw. Raskov tries to bring it down the wall, but it's taken away from him. Teixeira gloves down the outlet and brings it back into the Fort Wayne zone. Can't get it in deep, however. Teixeira wins the puck again at the point. Now feeds it into the left wing corner. Pellick's able to force it free from Boca. To Cuglietta behind the net. Over to the far side, Jared Thomas can't get it past Petrozelli, and now Harper will break it out to center with Hawkins. Gains center red, lobs it in to the left wing corner. Harper fights off his man and forces the puck free, and it comes to Michael Pellick at his own line. He'll send it forward into the Fort Wayne end, looking for Cuglietta on an area pass, and it's raked free from him. Pochero then tried to take a hit from Thomas, and it separated Pochero from the puck, but the Komets claim possession. Puck's into the Fuel zone, and icing is called as Cliff Watson was trying to collect it, but it hopped over his stick. So the faceoff will come back into the Fort Wayne end with 3:29 to go in a tie hockey game.
Well, that was a really impressive reverse hit by Zach Pochero. And he was the one carrying the puck, made a move through one Fuel player, and then Jared Thomas trying to separate Zach Pochero, his body from his helmet. And Pochero at the last second got his hands up and threw the reverse hit on Thomas, who was completely unsuspecting of it. And Jared Thomas was the one who took the larger side of the collision. That's one thing we've started to see a lot more in modern day hockey, that reverse hit, especially in the corner when a forward in on a forecheck or trying to keep possession. But a really nicely executed reverse style hit there by Zach Pochero to buy himself a little extra time.
3:19 to go, third period. The Fuel and Komets tied at 3.
YouTube, now, dude, you're awesome, and being able to get sirens like that, it is truly the best. The Blind God commented.
Face off the center dot, Tommy Apap and Jackson Leaf, and it is played into the Fuel zone. Adams Moisan in behind the net. Osipov takes it for Indy. And outlets to Dickinson, right to the tape through neutral ice. Dickinson across the Fort Wayne line. Drops it for Pirog. Right circle, shoots. Glove save made by Ferguson. Rebound tumbles into the far corner. Pirog wrists it in behind the net. Dickinson in Gretzky's office. Tried to bring it out in front, just missed stick handled. Teixeira fighting for the puck along the near boards, but it chipped past him out to center. Pirog was covering for him. and settles it down.
Yeah, Dickinson was trying to just shift that puck quickly to his backhand and then give it to Keone Texure, who was a defenseman trying to pinch down and be an option. Almost was able to connect.
Broadhurst across the line, can't handle a bouncing puck. Here's Siebenauer the other way, potential 3-on-2, broken up nicely by the Fuel. Marcineau with some space across the Fort Wayne line to Broadhurst, left circle. Tried to feed it back to Marcineau, shoots. Save made, rebound, punched right back into the crease, but Ferguson holds the fort. Raskop at his own line with 2:17 to go. Headmans to the Fort Wayne line. Pass across for Terry Broadhurst. Fires one on goal. Save made. Hutchison was looking for the rebound, but it was raked past him. Anthony Nellis can't sidestep Raskop's check and bring it into the Fuel zone. And Raskop will go D-to-D to Cliff Watson, who mishandles the puck as it hopped over his stick. And the Fuel send it all the way down. They ice it. So, offensive zone draw coming for Fort Wayne with 1:56 to go in a tie hockey game here in the third period. Both of these teams could use a point. Fort Wayne trying to chase Wichita into the Western Conference standings. Wichita right now with a lead of 27 percentage points, .027. And obviously the Fuel trying to keep Orlando and South Carolina at bay. Thomas and Nellis on the draw. Right wing circle. And it's won by Nellis. Nellis shakes past to check. Puck loose. Shot just wide from the right wing faceoff dot. Cliff Watson outlets to neutral ice. Lacroix sends it forward into the Fort Wayne end. Brodeur flushed out from behind his own net by Jared Thomas. Sends it through the neutral zone all the way down. This should be icing and will just barely have enough steam to gain the line. 1:35 to go in the game. Tied at 3. Between Indy and Fort Wayne.
Very much deja vu from last night here tonight again. All these games pretty much, especially in the latter half of the season.